My screen all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look less purple than ever.
Oh my god. Maybe I just had like some kind of rare form of jaundice where instead of going yellow, I'm just turning purple.
Part. What's going on, Rusty? We were just talking about how impressive it was that you could comment, but we didn't even know the stream was up yet. How's it going, man? Rusty runs like an imprint in Japan. He does like manga and stuff and localization over there.
Holy shit.
I was actually picking his brain a while ago about getting Voidwalker and stuff over there because I thought that'd be really cool to eventually have the Ransom verse like in Japanese and whatnot.
Yeah.
It gave me a little lesson on like how the languages are different and stuff because like you would address people differently and things like that, kind of like in Spanish how there's different words for like female and male.
Right.
It's like stuff like that for like addressing father figures and stuff. It's a more elaborate than that, but
Is manga still really healthy over in Japan? Or is it kind of like comics in America where it's like floundering?
oh, from what I know, it's like booming. Like you can get it like everywhere. Like they still have like a newsstand market and stuff that's like a legitimate like the newsstand you see in movies. Like what you expect to see when you go to New York and they barely exist there anymore.
Right.
This is the guy I did on stream with Pete earlier.
Whoa. Some scanners action.
Hell yeah.
I have allergies, everybody, so I'm gonna sound ridiculous because my allergies are acting up.
Jeff's a nerd.
Oh my gosh. My glasses are fogging up.
Guys, don't make fun of me.
Yeah. I got
Always
my
welcome to have Voidwalker. You are too kind, Rusty.
I did see a video though about Japan where like it had like a weeb from America going over there, like it's gonna be perfect, everybody's gonna be in the anime and manga and stuff, and he just realizes like the people over there that like it are just weebs too. They're just nerds.
Oh, that worked great. I am such an old man, guys. I'm just tweeting out this link real quick. Getting it out there. You gotta do those cheeky clickbait titles now, man.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, you should change it to like Tenant Review or something.
That's excellent. Yeah, manga is a large sector of the book market over here. I almost said section for some reason. I guess that's not that far off. Yeah, like I know from watching like Ed Piskor videos and shit, when he would go over there, he'd just grab all sorts of ridiculous stuff. And there's a couple guys that I follow who would take like business trips over there and just drop like $100 at a newsstand and get a bunch of gnarly shit. And you can get stuff that like over here hasn't been in print in like decades, and it's just like floppies of it over there.
I'm gonna have to keep muting so I don't sneeze on the mic.
Scare away our micro audience.
Boom, got another one.
What up, Ryan? You too busy tonight? You want to join us? I'm doing this guy I coined the Potato Man earlier. Just like I'm gonna make like a really gross like boily zombie.
Is that gonna be a boiled zombie or a zombie with boils?
Yeah. Lobster Man. Yeah, with boils. Boiled in the really gross way.
This is the boring part of the show.
What up, Carl? Oh man, I'm a Potato Man myself. You're also more
Rose
than
here?
welcome to join us if you ever want to, man.
Oh my
Great
God.
seeing you. I'm an Irishman myself, not of the land, but of the blood.
I believe it's pronounced Mick.
Yeah, right. I'm a potato-eating Mick bastard.
My wife has Irish in her, and like literally for one dinner,
You should
she
beat his
had
ass.
she had a potato, she had I think French fries and hash browns or something. It was like 3 different types of potatoes.
It's amazing. I feel like part of my life is just figuring out new ways to make potatoes.
Oh yeah, I say potato because I'm from the South.
Yeah, right. Florida man.
I'm actually from Virginia.
Oh yeah, you were saying that the other night.
Yeah, I'm a Virginia gentleman.
So is your wife from down there originally?
My wife's from West Virginia.
Oh, okay. You guys just ended up in Florida for whatever reason.
Well, we're cousins.
Oh my god. We need to go somewhere they'd let us get married.
It is legal in Virginia, actually.
Of course it is. So, like, yeah, we didn't want the tax money going elsewhere. Dog going crazy. I know the struggle, man. You do your thing, Rusty. I have 2 cats that think they're dogs. My landlord is like really cool old dude, and he has an RV that like they park in the backyard at our place, and he's out washing it right now because him and his wife are about to like take off for like a week tomorrow, and our cats just sit in the window and watch him like wash it all day. He's like, it was funny as hell. I was up on the roof of the RV and I sprayed the back windows, and the cats just didn't flinch, just stared at me. It's like, yeah, they don't give a shit. Like they're evil. Did I tell you last night he came out with a gun?
For what?
My neighbor downstairs ordered food, and the pizza guy came and banged on our door and was like hitting it so hard it sounded like somebody was trying to break into our house.
Holy shit.
And I came out immediately armed too, and he came out like 2 minutes later, and I'm just like on the porch smoking a cigarette, and he comes out, he's like, oh, it's just you. Good. I brought my gun, and like holds it up to me.
You were having your after murder cigarette?
Yeah, right. I was like, I thought I was going to have to kill a guy, so I'm just smoking a cigarette to calm down. And he's like, all right, good. And like hung out with me for like 5-10 minutes and just talked on the porch while we're standing there holding guns. So, which is not very cool in Connecticut. I was like, you should probably put your gun away. Like the cops drive by here a lot.
My wife's sister lives out in the boonies, and we lived with her for about a few months before we moved to Florida. And you get like bears and stuff out there because like it's literally like right off the mountain.
Yeah.
So one night we heard all this noise going on in the shed, and so she was like, Jeff, can you go check it out? It's like middle of the night, and so I'm wearing my Second Amendment shirt, and I'm wearing boxers, and I put some boots on. I grab my gun, and I grab the flashlight, and I walk outside. I'm like, what have I become? I just look like every country bumpkin.
This bear's not going to understand what the Second Amendment is.
He's an American bear. They understand. He's like, I get it.
Sorry, I'm leaving.
He's like, Molan Labe, brother.
Book Off is a good shop to go to for older titles. There you go. Rusty even knows the choice spots to go. We were just talking the other night about how I almost uprooted my life and moved to Japan with my Spec Ops uncle.
Yeah.
Who was actually kind of just the guy who would make sure the Spec Ops guys had like oxygen in their tanks and shit. I found that out. I was like, oh man, that's a bummer that your eyes gave out like that. That's like getting into the NFL and blowing out your knee.
Oh, yeah.
but then you get to like sit on the bench and refill everybody's Gatorade.
How much do you think the water boys get in the NFL?
You have to imagine for that kind of stupid shit job, they're probably still making really good money because who the fuck else would want to do that?
Right, like it's still got to be like a 50 grand job, right?
Yeah, right. Like there's guys fucking struggling to make ends meet in comics, but you could just be a water boy in the NFL. You could just
make
be
50 grand.
bottle bitch for like half the year. That's a funny thing too. Those guys are always built like fourth graders.
Water boys?
Yeah, I feel like that's almost part of the requirement. They're like, we want a guy like half the size of everyone on the field, so everybody just looks fucking enormous.
You just got like Brock Lesnar as your water boy. Like, okay, guys, we can't do this. He makes everybody look like a pussy.
It makes the whole team look bad.
So I watched Tenet last night.
Oh yeah, so you didn't go see New Mutants?
No, they weren't playing it.
Probably for the best.
I still want to see it though, just cause.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna see it, but that's like one of those things. Like I have a buddy who just like pirates everything, and I'll be like at his house and he'll watch it, and that'll be like probably where I end up seeing it.
I'm too scared to do that. I used to do it, like download movies on Pirate Bay and stuff, but then they started sending out emails to people and letters in the mail saying like, "Hey, we know what you're doing, so stop doing it." And a friend of mine got a warning from him, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's a little too close for comfort."
Oh yeah, I don't do the shit, but my buddy is like all about it. I don't know if he uses a VPN or whatever, but
I'm not gonna do any spoilers. I won't do any spoilers.
I don't give a shit.
No, Ryan does. He doesn't want to.
Oh yeah, bouncing before Tenet spoilers. Yeah, then don't. It's all good.
No, but I'm a big fan of Christopher Nolan, and all his movies are like super complex and really interesting. So like, I'm kind of excited to talk about it and give my full review. And so, what I wanted to say is it was meh. It was okay. It wasn't his best.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of hard to give spoilers because the movie is just super complex. Like it's just a lot of like, you need to go here and talk to this guy, and then you go there and talk to that guy, and then who's this guy? Oh, you got betrayed. Oh, now he's stepping in the back. Oh, you got to go back to this guy now. It's like, well, I don't know who's talking about what anymore, and who these people are.
I don't remember anyone's name.
I heard even when people left at the theater, they're going, "I need a physics degree to understand what happened in that movie."
Yeah, me and Kevin were just talking about Inception the other night and how when that came out, everyone was like, wow, that's one you got to see multiple times for like this, and this. And we were both like, feel like I got it, like what was going on in that movie the first time around. The only thing I felt like I needed to go back to watch was to fucking remember everyone's name.
Yeah, that's the way this is. It's like the actual like inversion is what they call it.
Yeah.
Isn't as complicated as you would think it would be. They kind of explain it pretty quickly. But there's so many like, different people and like spy stuff kind of going on that it just gets really layered and really complicated really quickly.
From what I heard too, like every review I've been reading and everything basically says like the trailer is like the first half hour of the movie. And then the whole rest of the movie is like footage you didn't really see like anywhere in the trailers or anything. So it's like that whole primer that you get explains the inversion stuff pretty easily, but then it gets like you're saying, like all over the fucking place.
Yeah. Like they kind of introduce a few of the characters like halfway through the movie. And you're like, well, who the hell is this guy? And how does he know about this stuff? And why is he important?
Always a great way to introduce people.
Like the action's great, all the action's really cool. Because like you can tell like it's real, like that's his thing. Is like he's always using real stuff, so you can always tell, and it looks great. And it looks better than CGI.
Yeah, I love that.
And
that's the whole thing, is even if it does end up being like kind of a meh, like it's not that deep of a storyline or anything, you still always get like an awesome cinematic experience out of it. Like
right, exactly.
Which is a rare thing now. people think like they hear cinematic and they're like, yeah, like a Marvel movie, and I'm like, ugh.
Well, yeah, it's like it's funny because this movie doesn't have anything on that level of like Infinity War, or even like Ant-Man or something in terms of scope, but
Yeah,
it feels so much bigger and more exciting just because it's like a real plane, like from the commercial.
yeah, you play into your hand and everything, like
It's like all
what.
that real world physics that just you can't put into a
That's the
computer.
thing I think I like so much about him too is he works as best he can with his limitations, no matter what they are, because he's gotten huge budgets, he's gotten really tiny budgets, but it's like that guy can make a good movie no matter what.
But like, yeah, so all the action stuff's good. The story, I just wasn't really that interested in.
Yeah,
It was just kind of nebulous, and um, honestly, I thought the actors were all kind of, aside from like Pattinson's good, and I don't know if anybody knows who else is in it as the bad guy, so I won't say.
fucking Denzel's son, who I just found out that's
Oh, is it
Denzel's
really?
son.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, he's the protagonist. I didn't know that. I was gonna say he's kind of boring.
I heard one of the reviews I read was like it almost seems like Christopher Nolan told him to like act like his dad, and he has kind of that like almost like smart ass response to some stuff, and he's like really cocky, but they were like he also is like way quieter and way more reserved than his father, so it doesn't translate the same way it does when his dad
Yeah,
delivers that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh god, that does not sound good at all. Like,
like when he's being cocky and stuff in the movie, that's when he's good. But the rest of the time, he kind of has this like like Ryan Gosling in the Nicholas Winding Refn films, where he's just like emotionless
yeah,
and
like
like
looks like he's trying to be mysterious, but there's just
yeah.
nothing going on upstairs.
But like it works to me for like Ryan Gosling because his character is kind of like a cipher in the movies he's been in.
Yeah.
He's always playing these like empty characters who only knows like violence and stuff.
I was
But
gonna
this
say it
guy,
always seems like it's supposed to be like a self-insert for Nicholas because he's a weirdo, but
yeah, yeah. You know
it's
what's funny?
like,
I saw Only God Forgives. They have a behind the scenes thing where you're watching him kind of make the movie and stuff,
yeah,
and like
he
talking to
has a
the actors.
boner the whole time.
But there's a scene where he's like describing his plans for the movie, with Ryan Gosling, and there's all these scenes in the movie with hands, like close-ups of hands, and he's explaining all this different stuff, and he's getting really artsy on him. And Ryan Gosling is just looking at him, giving him like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" kind of face.
Yeah.
And
The
Nicholas Winding Refn like cracks and starts laughing. So I always loved that because it was like he kind of realized he's not a total weirdo.
yeah, he's like not completely unaware of himself.
Yeah, it's like he's definitely like upping this personality for everybody. But then when somebody like Ryan Gosling, who's just this like superstar, is like, "Come on, dude," you're like, "All right, I know."
It's a little fucking goofy.
But yeah, like the Denzel's kid in this, he just kind of bland and boring for most of it, and he has like no real emotions. But then he has like these little quips that are good, and then he goes back to being just boring.
That's I think what it was the review I had read was kind of like he channels his father, but then it's so like weirdly inconsistent that it doesn't hold up like his dad does, because his dad, that's like it's almost to a point where Denzel's like typecast, like you almost know what you're getting out of a Denzel Washington movie
Right.
at this point. And they were like he would like channel that and it would like work really well for a scene, and then he was this quiet, mysterious, like just sort of taking in the scenery and doing whatever he had to do to get by sort of character. And they're like they keep going back and forth with that. And like,
Yeah, exactly. And everybody else in the movie too, besides Robert Pattinson. Well, Michael Caine's in it for like a few minutes.
what up,
Um,
Ara?
but everybody else, it kind of seems like amateur hour to me with a lot of the actors.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like his usual cast of like all stars and then like really good character actors. It was, I don't know, just people I've never heard of before that seemed kind of bland too. Maybe it's just his direction on this one or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the story wasn't anything special to me. It was really just like watching the cool, crazy action scenes he came up with.
I'm fucking still super hyped for Cronenberg's new movie, his kids movie.
Oh, Possessor.
Yeah, dude, that shit looks weird.
Yep. Yeah, I want to see that. Is that the same one? Because he has two kids that are making movies,
Oh, I didn't
right?
know they both were.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Am I
Because
thinking
I think
of
he has
David
a
Lynch?
daughter too.
I'm thinking of David Lynch. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, Jesus, I didn't even know that guy had kids.
Yeah,
I,
his daughter made a movie with, was it Bill Pullman? I was, the ones they always get mixed up. The one that was in Independence Day. That's Pullman, right?
yes, I believe you're right.
She made a movie with him years ago. That was really good.
It's like, do you get him mixed up with Paxton?
Yeah, that's like the guy they always get mixed up.
That's
Everybody gets mixed up.
hilarious. Yeah, I mix them up all the time for some reason.
So I didn't want to say the wrong one. Mm.
Boily gross guy.
But I did see the Dune trailer, which looks pretty dope.
Oh, I didn't even know that was out. That'd be why everybody's won't shut the fuck up about Dune. I was just surprised we finally got another Dune movie, and like the costume design and everything is still just really fucking lackluster.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of boring.
Like, and I'm one of those guys that's all for like some military tactical like mil-spec design shit, but like that's like if you got to finally do a Star Wars and you're like, everybody has a submachine gun and plate carriers now. Like it looks like
Well, they kind of did that though in Rogue One. They kind of gave it,
And I love the fuck out of Rogue One.
Really, I didn't like it.
I could have like, especially just give me an hour and a half of that end Vader scene.
Oh yeah, that was great. The cinematography was great. The Vader scene was great, but the movie, like I felt it should have just been about what Mads Mikkelsen or Saul Guerrera, whatever his name was. Ghost Dog.
Yeah.
Like I thought his character was really interesting. I watched a whole movie about him. Didn't give two shits about the main character or her boyfriend or her crew.
Jyn Orso.
Yeah. Didn't like any of them.
Well, I mean, all the marketing and everything was like, this is doomed. Check out all these dead people. That was the one big thing I didn't really like about the movie, is I feel like they spent almost too much time getting you invested in that cast. And it was like, no, just make it like a straight up action movie. Like, you don't need to get that invested in this cast when we know exactly what the fuck is going to happen to them. Like,
right.
I don't need the backstory of a bunch of characters that are literally just here to be cannon fodder.
Are you a Star Wars fan?
Oh yeah. I'm not like fucking like screaming about the movies or anything anymore, because like why waste the energy? But
so if they made another one, would you go see it?
I might rent it or whatever. I didn't even see the last one in theaters.
No, I didn't either.
Last Jedi really fucking tapped me out, and it wasn't even like I want to get on the internet and yell about it or anything. I saw that and was just like, whoa. Like, I guess I'm too old for Star Wars now. It's like, yeah, it's a bit of a bummer, but I'm like, again, like I'm to a point in my life where I'm just like, I guess I'll make my own story.
Yeah, Last Jedi, like I'm not a big Star Wars guy at all. I just, I like him like any normal person would. But even then, I was watching it going like, this isn't Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker wouldn't do this, just from my limited knowledge of watching the movies as kids.
And it's funny too, because that is like one of the few interesting things that dude tried to do in the movie, and it still got completely botched.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a cool idea. The hero isn't the hero that we made him out to be, sort of thing. But it's like that would have made sense if, like, the original 3 Star Wars movies were like set up from some sort of unreliable narrator standpoint, and it wasn't we were seeing firsthand Luke's fucking story from Luke's perspective.
Yeah,
It's
he's
like,
like,
no, we know this dude's a kick-ass hero.
right. He's like, oh, would you expect a space wizard with a laser sword to show up? It's like, yeah, because that's what you fucking did in 3 previous movies.
Yeah. Oh, I expected you to show up and be you? Yeah, dude, that's exactly what we were counting on. That's actually why I came here to train with you.
Like, that's why we all paid money to come see this movie.
Right? It's like, you guys spent like 3 years fucking hyping that the dude was back. He's back and neutered like never before.
And he was still the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
even with all the alien tit milk drinking and all that.
Yeah, I mean, Mark Hamill's still great. Still did an amazing job. It's just the movie botched his character, and the movie kind of sucked, and it ruined Star Wars for everybody.
Right? Kind of fucking blew up in Disney's face in the best way possible and was really hilarious if you hate corporations.
What's even better, though, is that they built Galaxy's Edge all around the new trilogy, and nobody gives 2 shits about it.
Yeah, that shit's hilarious. My girlfriend's a Star Wars fucking nut, and even she was like, me and her mom are like both crazy Star Wars fans, and they were both like, yeah, kind of don't care. They went there and they were like, even for like Disney standards, like the food is really bad and like the experience is just not there.
Yeah, I've heard like everything costs like $20. Like if you want a drink, it's like $20, and you want a napkin, $20. It's got Yoda's face on it, so
you can piss in a bathroom with a bunch of aliens.
Like I think the droids cost like $200 to get. Like you can build your own droid.
Yeah, because that's so fucking cool.
And I heard the new ride sucks too. There's the one that's the Millennium Falcon that people say is pretty good. And there's the other one, which I hear sucks.
Well, they had Star Tours before all of this, which Star Tours has always been pretty rad, but it's literally just like a VR ride. You get into this cart if you've never been on it, and it's essentially like a made-up vehicle from the Star Wars universe, and it's supposed to be like a like personnel carrier, and you get into it and someone's always like a rebel spy on it, and they like pick you out in the middle of it, and there's like a bunch of randomized stories you can get caught up in. So it's done up almost like you're riding on this commercial like space flight in the Star Wars universe, but like because the rebel spy is one of the people riding on the ride, this camera picks one person on the ride, and then when the story starts, like Vader can stop you as you're taking off in the hangar with a bunch of stormtroopers and like shoot you down in a bunch of crazy shit. What's going on, Spy? How you doing, man? If that's who I think it is, it's been a very long time. But yeah, they do all these different like varying stories, and like there's one where you can go to the Gungan planet, and like you get like underwater in a part, and one of the weird fucking water dragon things grabs onto you and all this gnarly shit. They're pretty cool, and they're like the CGI in it and everything is like on par with like the prequel movies. Like it's really well done quality wise. I'm pretty sure it was like Lucas's company who was like doing the actual videos for it and stuff. And they added some new ones, I think, for the new trilogy. I don't know. I'm assuming they're at Disney now, but they weren't there the last time I was there. But there's supposed to be one where like Kylo Ren could stop you and shit like that.
Is the Gungans from the prequels?
Yeah, that's the fucking. I think I might have it wrong. I'm like, again, I'm a Star Wars fan, but I'm not a nutcase about it. That's what Jar Jar Binks is.
Oh. Oh. Oh God.
Yeah, they're like underwater frog people. But you can like go to their planet and stuff. It's really weird. And it's sort of like one of the like C3PO droids is like the pilot on the plane and shit. It's really strange, but it's a lot of fun. And if you're like a hardcore Star Wars fan, there's always like tons of little Easter eggs and stuff in it, and like all sorts of races and shit. It's sort of like an expanded universe. Yeah, Naboo. That's the whole thing. There's almost like one for like all of the really like mainline Star Wars planets. There's a Kashyyyk one, and you only get one of these tours per ride where you like end up like, oh, we have to crash land on this planet because we just accidentally flew through a fucking TIE fighter, like a Star Destroyer fucking space dog fight. You're like, oh shit, rebels fighting the Empire, like time to reroute, and they like dip down onto a planet, and it's Kashyyyk, the Wookiee planet, and they're always really cool and just fun little. It's almost like being in like a 5-10 minute Star Wars short film, and then you get off, and it
Sounds
just
lame.
randomizes them like all day.
Sounds lame. Freaking nerds. Now, if you said Rivendell or Dol Guldur, you know.
Gay.
You're talking about cool stuff. And this nerdy shit.
Yeah, said no one ever.
You want to go to the Mines of Moria, you know, like
Oh,
a real man.
like a real man. Yes, because all the real men I know love wearing jewelry.
Wait, they don't?
Yeah. No, it's my favorite book. A book about a bunch of dudes being obsessed with jewelry.
You're saying some really hurtful things right now. This is getting too real.
I had a guy quit a book one time because of my passionate hatred for Lord of the Rings.
Look, you know, I just want to say, I work with this guy, Spencer. He was a real racist towards elves and goblins.
There will be no elfing around.
No, that's my thing. That's what I do is elf around.
That's my whole thing.
What are you, Kevin Smith up in here? You want to rag on Lord of the Rings?
Was that his thing?
Yeah, didn't you see Clerks 2? He did like a whole segment on how dumb Lord of the Rings was.
I guess I just zoned that out. I was like, this is my gimmick, Kevin. You can't take it from me.
Not again.
Yeah, I had like a bunch of buddies in high school that for like years I would rip on Lord of the Rings, and somehow like my buddies just weren't smart enough to perceive that I was like being wildly sarcastic all the time and didn't genuinely like it. So until like we were like graduating high school, I was like, "Are you guys kidding? Like I like suffered through all of those movies with you because we're friends." Like, it's had nothing to do with me enjoying it. Like if
I went with some friends to see Return of the King, and they all got high in the car beforehand. I'm like, you guys ruin it. Awesome. Hate you guys.
And they had the time of their life.
Yeah, they were the most amazing movie.
They actually understood why they were hugging for like the last half hour of the movie. Like, I get it, man. It's a long journey. I'll say if I was high when I saw those movies, I probably would have enjoyed them.
Did you see Bill and Ted?
Oh, I haven't seen the third one yet. I was putting it on. I almost put it on the other night because I'm pretty sure it's available for streaming.
Yeah,
and I like held off because I figured Beth would probably want to watch it with me, and that was one. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch this a second time. I keep hearing really mixed things about it.
I didn't like it. I grew up watching them. You know, I love all those movies.
Yeah.
But it just felt like, did you see the reboot of Jay and Silent Bob?
Yeah.
It was like that, where it was just like, really cheap, and it kind of felt like almost like a high school theater reenactment of the old movies.
Yeah. See, there were parts of Jay and Silent Bob, the reboot, that me and Beth really liked. And like they're like that there's like a really heartwarming part at the end of it with what's his name? Holden? Is that Ben Affleck's character?
Oh yeah.
Where you like see the full circle moment and everything. I was like, that was the only part that really landed, and it felt so fucking out of place in the rest of the movie. Like they could not figure out what the tone of that movie was, and then by the end of it, they realized it was really stupid. So it seemed like they brought in Ben Affleck to like put some sort of point to it after it all.
Yeah.
It was really weird, but like Beth was like, "Oh, that was such a sweet moment." And I was like, "That's like the only part in the movie where I felt like anybody was actually acting, and it wasn't just like a fun time with all of our friends."
And former heroin addict Jay.
Yeah, it was just like evidently that was his whole personality too.
He looks so rough in that movie.
Looks rough, acts rough, like he just like it seems like he doesn't want to be there.
I can't remember, were the Clerks guys in it?
No, I don't believe they were.
Because I know that they had fallen out. They had a falling out with him a while back, when they were going to do Clerks 2. And then they got back together.
Well, you got to imagine that dude made out like a bandit with everything, and those guys all just are like the dudes in Clerks.
Yeah.
Is it Brian O'Halloran? And I never even remember the other dude all the time who played Randall.
I think his name's Jeff something. But yeah, Randall wanted to be a filmmaker too.
Yeah.
And he even directed like a direct-to-video movie.
I was going to say, he was in some other stuff back in the day too, if I remember correctly.
But I really lost, like, I used to be a huge Kevin Smith fan. And I would, like, listen to the Smodcast and watch all his Evening With DVDs. And we even went and saw him at the Warner Theater when he was touring Red State.
Yeah.
So like
rad.
I used to love him, and I like Red State a lot, but then he got into that whole thing with Adam Carolla, and I kind of realized, like, oh, he just likes drama.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's not just like everybody is dumb and he's awesome. It's like, oh no, he just kind of talks shit about people, and
he's a shit stir.
Yeah, like Adam Carolla was really the first guy that actually had the same platform as him. Like everybody else, like Bruce Willis is a big famous movie star, but he's not going to put out a press release to deny, Kevin Smith talking shit about him.
Yeah, that was the most hilarious shit ever.
But then Carolla has his own show, so he could, fight back on him, and then kind of showed that Kevin Smith was just kind of being a baby and like screwed him over for all his money. And I was like, oh, that kind of sucks.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, they were going to do this. This must have happened like in 2010 or something, 2011. They were going to do some kind of TV show for Spike TV back in the day. And something happened where Kevin Smith would email him, and Carolla doesn't take emails. He only calls people on the phone because, Carolla's like an old school dude.
Yeah.
And Carolla would call him, but Kevin Smith wouldn't return the calls because Kevin Smith doesn't like talking on the phone. He only likes doing emails. So they had a hard time communicating, and Kevin Smith basically felt like for some reason Carolla hated him. And so he talked with the producers to get him kicked off the show. And so he was out like, I think $100,000 or something like that. The show never got picked up or anything, but Kevin Smith kind of trashed Carolla on one of the Smodcasts and stuff. And Carolla then bashed him on his show and told his side of the story. And Kevin Smith, wanted to go on his show so they could talk it out like men and stuff. But it just kind of seemed like Kevin Smith was, like really high school drama, Gossip Girl kind of thing. And he was like, well, if you were mad at me about, cheating on your money, why didn't you just call me up and like, talk it out and tell me I was being an asshole? He's like, Kevin, you screwed me out of money. Why would I call you up? He's like, you stabbed me in the back. Why would I want to talk to you ever again? And he
Yeah, right.
couldn't wrap his head around that. Like, wait, you don't want to get in arguments with people and have it out all the time, you know? So he kind of like got his ass handed to him. It's on YouTube. You know, people can go out there and watch it.
You aren't a nutcase? Like,
Yeah, he's like, you don't want to gossip about each other on each other's shows? Okay. You
okay.
don't want to make a documentary where you talk about the people you work with and make them look really bad? That's not something you want to do?
Shit on everybody. Oh man, my phone's going crazy.
That didn't sound good. Yeah, then he started like shilling. And like everything he saw, he started crying over. I was like, no, I don't really care about him anymore.
Oh, Beth's mom is asking me about a gaming laptop for Beth's sister. I was like, you don't really want to get a laptop. Yeah, see, Ara knows Star Tours. They're good times. I like to get really drunk at, what is it? I think it's Hollywood Studios it was at. And just go on Star Tours a bunch. That's what I do when I'm in Florida. Or I go to Epcot and I get bombed around the world.
I liked Epcot a lot. That's one of my favorite places we went to.
I figured you were from Florida, so you're like going there all the time, like everybody else I know from Florida.
Nah, we went there for our honeymoon. We got married in Montverde, which is like half an hour away or something. So we decided just to like do our honeymoon there. And Animal Kingdom was the best though. That place was awesome.
Oh, see, I hated Animal Kingdom.
Really?
Yeah,
Is
in
this
the
the end
summertime,
of
it's
the?
horribly hot. It reeks like fucking animal shit.
Is this the end of Baby Throat and Toddler Brain?
Yeah, right.
You
No,
hate
that's just gonna
you
be
hate
our
Lord of the Rings?
dynamic. We're so vastly different.
I'm gonna learn Elvish just so I can insult you and you won't know
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
we don't agree on everything, and I love it. Yeah, I said to be like, you probably don't want to get a laptop at all if you're trying to like legitimately play games on it for more than like a couple of months. It's like my experience with laptops in general, they're just always garbage.
Yeah, it's hard to find a good computer nowadays.
Little boils all over this guy.
Did you go to Pandora?
No.
You didn't go to Pandora? That's the best part of Disney World.
Jesus.
It has the best ride.
I
And it's all black light at night.
I don't think that one was even there when I went last time though.
It's the Avatar world.
Yeah, that's
And
oh man.
I don't care about Avatar, but
Okay, now you're talking my language.
sorry.
Finally
Avatar
something
fucking sucks.
yeah, finally something we can agree on. Avatar is stupid.
Stupid bitch ass blue aliens.
Yeah, fucking banging things with your dreadlocks.
Yeah, that was the most bizarre part of it.
So many people were like, this movie is fucking transcended film. I'm like, I want to die.
But that's something that like Cameron does a lot in his movies. Like, did you ever read the Spider-Man script he wrote?
No, did he bang somebody with dreadlocks in that?
No, there's a scene where Spider-Man basically has like wet dream, and he sprays his webbing all over the place.
Oh my god, I remember reading about that somewhere and thinking that was a joke.
No, that was real.
That's a thank you, James Cameron, for just being the biggest fucking goober.
Yeah, like some of his scripts, they all have some kind of weird little sexual element to them. Like, what are you into, dude?
He's like, I'm the next Clive Barker.
That's even like gauche to Clive Barker. He's like, ugh, there's no blood.
Clive Barker's like, that's not erotic, that's just smutty.
He's like, well, is his penis at least flayed?
It's not a single skinned body in this entire book.
They're supposed to remake that too. Hellraiser.
Doug Bradley gonna forever be crying about it.
Have you seen the sequels without him?
I've seen one or two of them now. Every time I'm like, how do I keep watching these? I think that last one, Judgment or something like that.
Yeah, that was the one where like they only made it just to keep the IP, and they shot it in like
okay,
Bulgaria or something.
Yeah, I was like, you could tell like immediately there was something up with it. Like
they shot it in like Steven Seagal country where he makes all his movies. They provide him like real dead bodies
for food. That's how they get his stunt doubles to look so lifelike. They use a corpse.
Loaded corpse from the river.
It looks just like you, Steve, and he can really take a punch. It's laying on the ground.
They just got an assortment of dead bodies. Like, that one's way too skinny. Throw him in the river. Get him bloated up.
Is that enough boils for Potato Man? What's up, Josh R? Kevin's not in here. I'm assuming that's Rogers. Oh, there's Kevin. Oh, Kevin is in here. I'm not even drunk tonight. Last time I was in Florida, I was 5 and it was nuts. Yo, Kevin is in California right now, dying. He texted me like right before I started this stream. It's 113 where he's at, which is ungodly. I'm like, Josh, he's not even in here.
Josh R was mean to me today on Twitter.
Oh, that's his brand, man. I think it's hilarious.
Today he hurt me. Said I could be the pencil sharpener to Jim Lee or Jay Lee.
That shit cuts deep.
Like a pencil sharpener.
I need to find a pen here that isn't. I just have like a sandwich bag full of inking pens. I need to find one that isn't completely dead and isn't a brush tip. That's definitely a brush tip, though.
It is very hard to draw tonight because I keep almost like dribbling all over my page.
Dying from allergies.
You'd be like, how do you get that cool texture? It's like, oh, it's not. You don't use snot in your art?
I'm watching James Bond the movie all day. Kevin's not in here. Yes, I am. You talking about Spider-Man on Ice? Blah, welcome to the stream. Jeez, there's lots of people in here. Yeah, Spy's my buddy Kasim. Used to play games with that dude all the time.
Lots of people, and they're all disappointed.
Yeah, right. Just shocked at how fucking horrible my attention span is. Like, this guy will look at his chat, respond to all of us in 30 seconds, and then not look at it for an hour. Figured, I believe Pete is supposed to stream again tonight, and he said he wanted to send the link, so if he does that, I will see if me and you can both jump over there, hang out with him some more, unless you're still struggling to draw.
We're Usually come back to me in an hour, like knocked out, just groaning in pain,
Wrecked
choking on
on
my,
allergy medication.
just suffocating on my own snot.
What the fuck do I do with this guy now? This guy, so he's made out of 100 testicles.
That's cool in its own way. Just depends what you're into.
Scrote zombie. Dude, my Twitter is like broken from how insanely busy it's been. It's like, what the hell happened? You got like friends all of a sudden. I cannot think of how I want to do this guy's eyes. I mean, he's so gross already. I know like anything I do is going to look cartoonish and ridiculous, but I'm like... Huh. Can you even breathe, guy?
Huh?
I thought my allergies were bad.
Oh no, I had terrible allergies.
Destroyed. We are falling apart between the two of us. Do a gross swollen eye too. Getting real gross. There we go. I keep forgetting to tell Kayla too that we are we're streaming. Jeff left out context and that good-natured tease was made last night. Not. I usually just stuff tissue in my nostrils, right, Rusty? That's why I'm not on camera. I just duct tape my nose shut. I eat local bees. Really helps. Fucking Kevin. They say it's the honey, but it's really the bees.
I'll try anything right now. I don't have bees, but I got lizards. There's plenty of them outside.
What are they called again? Like gnolls or some shit like that, right?
I don't know. I just
think
call them
that's
like little guys and big guys.
Beth said they were. They're fucking weird, man. They're everywhere. That was like the best part of Florida, though. I was just like, fuck yeah, lizards everywhere. And then when the cable guy came the first time I was down there, and I was like in the side yard smoking a cigarette when he showed up, and he goes, "Is that your armadillo?" And I was like, "What?" And turned around, there's an armadillo like 2 feet away from me. 'Cause I was just like shocked at the question.
Yeah, we got them a lot down here.
Yeah, I
They
was
carry
like,
leprosy.
that's a thing down here? Yeah, that's what Beth told me too. But I was like, didn't even register that there were armadillos down here, and I thought the cable guy was just saying crazy shit to me. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? And I turn around, there's a real life armadillo just like sitting next to me like I owned it. I wish, dude. If it was a smoking armadillo, I would have been getting leprosy that day. Because I would have been stealing it.
Armadillos don't smoke down here, but the palmetto bugs do. You just see them walking around, the stogie.
All night long, smoking and screaming at their spouses.
Yeah, they're really a bad element.
Just seedy people. The palmetto bugs, the seediest of people.
You're like, I'm not a racist or nothing. Those palmetto bugs.
Well, they can get the fuck right out. This guy's more boils than man. And I think Kevin said he's working like all night, so I'm assuming he's at the fucking store right now. Just hanging out. Probably sweating to the oldies.
What kind of store?
He works at a liquor store.
Oh, I hope you don't get looted.
With just the best stories ever. I don't know if any of that shit's still going on near Kevin's place. And I feel like knowing Kevin, he would probably at this point just like walk out and go home. Like, yeah, he has to deal with enough shit at that store already. Like, sorry to cut you off.
Do you see the video of the guy, the Amazon driver, where they just took everything out of his truck?
Oh, of course, it's an Amazon truck.
He just stepped back. He was like, "Yeah, I ain't trying."
Yeah, I'm good. That's my only thing is like I don't give a shit either way, but I'm like, why fight for shit like that? Like it's not your truck, man. Like
Yeah, there's no sense of getting brained
yeah,
or something.
enjoy your free flat screens, everybody. I'm getting my ass home.
Early day.
Yeah, the Black Lives Matter protesters told me I had the day off. I'm inclined to agree with them, so fuck you guys.
Call his boss, like, got all my deliveries done. Very early.
Yeah.
Gonna be heading out.
You could say I dropped them all off in one place.
It's almost like they all came to me to get their packages.
I wish shipping was always this easy. We are getting somewhere now with this. It doesn't just look like a bunch of gross boils.
Oh.
Kevin, I'm drawing pictures like a real boy. Maybe he ordered all those Amazon packages. Yeah, I'm not part of the protests. I'm genuinely here for all my shit.
Oh, Josh R. Have you seen the wildfires like in person?
Yeah, right. Him and Kevin be living that shit. I forget they're like pretty close by each other. They're both like Northern California. I think Josh is more north though. Maybe I'm wrong though, because he says it's colder where he is. Kevin's ass, he sounds like he's just like constantly like right on the edge of just an all-out inferno. I'm like, how the fuck does it even get to be 113 degrees anywhere?
Those videos are scary. They're crazy. You know, when they're driving through the fire and everything.
Driving through and you can feel your tires sticking to the ground and shit. Like,
did you ever see the pictures of people that died?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like fucking Hiroshima. You're just like burnt into the ground.
Yeah. Everybody talks about Florida and they're like, oh, they get all these hurricanes every year. I would never want to live there. Well, the hurricanes, when they come here, it's never as bad as it always.
You get crushed instantly.
Crushed instantly by what?
A hurricane. You're not burnt alive. Like, I would take a hurricane over fucking caught in a wildfire.
Oh yeah, wildfire had to be the worst. Besides maybe lava.
Yeah, right. I've always wondered that, like, what is the death in lava like? Are you just like burning really slowly for a while? Like, fuck, somebody pull me out.
Oh, I lost a shoe. I gotta go back.
Yeah, is it like quicksand but really hot? Like,
it's really only the dumb people to get caught in it. Like, I'll be there in a minute. No, we gotta go right now. One more second.
All of Pompeii, incredibly dumb.
I've been there.
Oh yeah? Did you lick anybody's ashes?
No, they got them all under plexiglass.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to lick them?
Oh. What are they there for?
Yeah. Fuck, did I pay all this money to come to Pompeii for?
But I did learn something cool there. They had these brothels, you know, in Pompeii that are still kind of around. And you know how, like, when you go into a McDonald's, they have the menu up in front of you? It's like, okay, there's a Big Mac, there's that. That's how they used to do the brothels back in the day.
Did you see the Seder Square while you were there?
I don't know. What's the Seder Square?
Speaking of Tenet, that's where Tenet comes from. What is it? Seder, Rotor, Tenet.
Sorry, I had a sneezing fit.
Seder, Rotor, Tenet, Opera. Oh, I fuck it up every time, man. Hang on a minute. You've never heard of the Seder Square? That's like a huge part of what Tenet is like about.
Nope. I don't believe you. It's all lies.
Yeah, so I guess I can just screen share it. Yeah. Seder, that's the second one. Seder, Arepo, Tenet, Opera, Rotas. And basically the Seder Square is like the perfect redundancy. It's the same way always, and that'll make sense when I show you in a second. If you see that middle one, the word is literally like exactly Tenet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so Seder, Arepo, Tenet, Opera, Rotas. But if you look at it up and down now, vertically, Seder, Arepo, Tenet, Opera, Rotas. Now look at it backwards from the bottom right. Seder, Arepo, everything is forever repeating.
Illuminati.
Yeah, it's just this weird old square, but like they were all over Italy. I'm pretty sure there's one in Pompeii. There's like more to it and everything. It's just this weird thing, though. It's like the belief that everything's connected, and that's kind of what the Seder Square represents. And Tenet, I feel like Christopher Nolan learned about the Seder Square and was like, "Oh shit." But like, yeah, it's basically like the first palindrome to ever exist. And the earliest form of it actually had Rotas as the top line, not Seder.
And what do they mean?
Like,
what are the words mean?
Good question. I don't know that much about it. I just I guess let's see what the Wikipedia says really quick.
Yeah, you acting like Mr. Professor over here. Don't you know your shit?
Yeah, I don't think they necessarily have like any strict meaning, but it's another one of those just like weird fucking. One likely translation: the farmer Arepo has works wheels. Flower uses plow as a form of work. Yeah, it was like one of the things I read on it said it was like believed to be a poem at one point. Yeah, see, the Pompeii one is the oldest one. The oldest datable representation of the Seder Square was found in the ruins of Pompeii. Others have been found in excavation under the church of Saint Maria. Trying to find anything that says like what it means. The occurrence of the phrase on a rune stone in Sweden, dated in the 14th century, that just reads Seder Arepo Tenet. The same words are used in exorcism prayers, which are derived from the 25 letters of the Seder Square. The fuck? That's what I mean. There's just like the first time I heard about this, there's so much weird shit about it. I was like, is this even real? Like, is this just like some internet bullshit? Like, yeah, I think that first one I showed is actually the one from Pompeii because it's also like one of the easier seen ones.
I mean, I probably saw it there, but I don't remember it. They didn't make any big deal out of it, at least when I was there. Which kind of sucks because I wish they did.
Professor Desmond, only half knowing about shit.
Yo, you ever heard about this Seder stuff? I don't know shit about it, but have you heard about it?
Yeah. Class, I want you guys to find out about it. Yeah, but like when Tenet first got announced, I was like, oh, I know exactly where that came from. and then I saw that it deals with like time inversion and almost like time dilation. I was like, yeah, totally. Like this is exactly where he got the idea. Ooh. Boyle Man is gross, and then I can hit him with some gross white highlights and make him even grosser. Jeff, you're never going to breathe out of your nose again, man.
This is what always happens. Then tomorrow I'll be like halfway better. And the next day I'll be fine. And then like I'll have another fit.
Yeah. See, I'm the exact opposite. I have it like really bad in the morning when I wake up, and then I'm like good from like 4 p.m. on in the day. And then I wake up in the morning and I'm miserable again. And it comes in waves like that. But we're like 2 weeks away from it getting really fucked up around here. The fall here is fucking allergy city. You guys don't know that New England shit with 4 seasons. Well, you do. You grew up here at a point.
Yeah, Virginia, we get all kinds of stuff. Snow and polar vortexes.
Yeah, whatever the fuck that is.
That was a big thing. It was like 10 below in Virginia, which it never gets to. Like everything was just covered in ice. It was so cold that my heater stopped working in my car. So I would have to drive wearing like a blanket and like 6 socks.
Jesus Christ.
My fingers would just hurt all day long from driving.
Oh, yeah, dude. We had a winter storm like that, I want to say like 2013, when I still lived with a bunch of roommates and was like an absolute heathen. And what's going on, Big Rich? How you doing, man? Yeah, the storm was so fucking bad. Like multiple states had like hundreds of thousands of people without power. We lost power for a couple days, and then we got power back, and we were calling our apartment the refugee camp because just like all of our friends were coming and staying there because their houses were like their apartments and stuff were just like unlivable. They're like you can't survive in them right now, and fucking we were buying alcohol in bulk and like splitting it up. I think we had something like 30 people living in our apartment. It was like a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment. It looked like a prison camp. And it was for like 2.5 weeks. All these dudes, like all our buddies and everything, were taking showers so they could still get to work and stuff. And we were like all in like a rotation, and it was like being in college. Sitting in the living room watching on the big screen. I am sorry. You must suffer through my gigantic head on a giant TV.
Just elephantitis. You actually do have like a giant head.
My swollen head. I rested on my drawing table.
I can't remain upright or I die.
Too much blood flows out of my brain and I die. We got a boily guy here. Show a picture of this in a minute. I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm just
I am.
doing some quick details here. Sorry. Woo! I think Pete is going to be streaming in a little while, so we can kill this one and jump over there, or we can stay here. We can join forces. That's what we got to do. We got to get Pete on, and we'll call it Crossing Streams.
Oh. Sword fight.
Crossing Streams with John Edwards. Right? That was the guy who talked to dead people.
Yeah, the biggest douche in the universe.
Yeah.
He won the award in South Park. Does anybody get that reference at all?
That was such a weird like bygone era. Like I remember when that guy was all over TV when we were kids. Like,
Yeah, but then he fucked up and he did the whole 9/11 thing.
is that what it was?
Yeah. He said he was going to talk to like the victims of 9/11.
Yeah. I'm like my brain couldn't like remember if that was real or like I like conflated that with all the South Park stuff. Like that's so fucking wild. I think
There's always like one person that kind of comes out as that psychic for each generation. You know, like John Edwards was like our guy. There was that old lady on Montel Williams that was around for a long time.
one of the Paul brothers will be this generation's.
Yeah, that'll be his next thing.
It's like, I'm gonna call the dead dude from that forest in Japan that I met.
Yeah, bro, I'm looking at some guy. He's like a dork. I think his name's Pete or something. Anybody know that's just dork Pete?
Ryan's back. What a bumping stream. No matter what we do, we have a bunch of people in here, but it says we always have 5 people. Forever, audience.
Is Carl Rose still around, or did he dip out?
Carl popped in and was like, "You guys are cool," and then left, I think, or he's lurking.
That dude's a rock star.
Yeah, he's a busy man. It's hard being handsome. That's basically his whole gimmick, from what I've gathered. Being the Playboy Irishman. It's like I love jumping into a stream and that dude's just in like a polyester suit or a polyester shirt. Suit, that'd be even better. Carl, I'm sending you a suit.
Carl's just Conor McGregor.
I wonder if that's like insulting to Irish guys now.
Probably, because everybody kind of hates him now.
Yeah, after he punched that old Irish guy.
Yeah, that was messed up. Then he broke a fan's phone.
What a cool dude. So I mean though, like you can beat like a lot of people's asses and you're like the biggest queen in the world when people fuck with you. Like that is the strangest shit ever to me.
Yeah.
And it's really common with like fight guys like that. I just have to assume it's like all of them are stricken with CTE.
Did you see Mike Perry's video where he knocks the old guy out?
Oh, that was the dude who got like crazy, like weird pseudo racist at the restaurant and then punched the old guy who was like trying him.
Yeah, just screaming the N-word. It's like, oh, this is not a good way to handle your career, buddy.
Oh. Say goodbye to that contract.
Have they even said anything about his contract?
I don't even know. I don't even think anybody cares anymore because the fucking world's so weird.
Yeah, it's like, okay, guys, the cities are burning and everybody's dying from a disease. We don't really care about Mike Perry.
Yeah, Mike Perry's nuts? No way.
You mean the guy with the face tattoos is a little crazy? Screaming the N-word? No.
Right. I love that was like the big thing too when like other fighters were commenting on it and stuff. They're like, "That's just Mike, yo. He's wild." I was like, "This is the weirdest rap to have."
Yeah, I think he said like he's half black or something, but there's like no backing to that at all. He just said it. Everybody's like, "All right."
Zero evidence other than him stating he's half black. He read that book, The Secret, and about how if you just will it out into the universe, it's true.
Yeah, he just thinks like if you get so many rap records, that makes you black officially.
Of course. Oh, Pasca Marker, how I love you. The best thing that ever happened to me. Outside of my girlfriend, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hope she isn't here.
All right. She's totally in this stream and about to fucking kick through the door and punch me in the head. Even just doing this, like I've been going back in and adding like some other details and everything, but just adding in the little bit of white in the eyes and the teeth makes this shit come together so much. Like, why have I been fucking about so much? All this time I could have been drawing bullshit. Can add some more fine line stuff in with a pen in a minute, but let that chill for now. Potato Man. It looks all fuzzy. Oh yeah, I got the share screen. I can kill that now, I guess. We don't need to know about the Seder square anymore.
Yeah, I missed it. Show it again.
Potato Man. Made of testicles.
Just skin tag city.
How did this guy die? Being gross.
Dr. Pimple Popper just like, fuck it. We gotta kill this guy.
Oh,
Can't do anything to help him.
We're putting you down. That's the one I did on Pete's stream earlier. If you weren't there for that. Head pop. What did we do? We had another one. Oh, the guy I did yesterday with you, Jeff. The little dude. I just cut up all these sheets last night into 5x7s, but that guy who I'm probably just going to draw another little head next to now. And then all these pre-made shapes I colored well with Pete. So it's like I can crank out like 20 or 30 of these and just let people pick the ones they want. Fuck it. Oh, I'm going so full throttle. I didn't want to fucking feel like I was going to pass out at 10 o'clock tonight, so I got an energy drink like a chud. Drawing bullshit, Marvel, hold my beer. Yeah, dude, I figure if I keep drawing like this, eventually I'll get a job at Marvel and I won't need anything anymore. Life will be complete because I'll be drawing the 8th Spider-Man book. Oh, I wish I was sponsored by Full Throttle. I'd be dead already. Hey, you guys want to see something that hasn't been shown to really anyone? Just because it's right next to me.
Keep it above the waist.
Some of you might have no fucking clue what this is. Some of you might have already seen it before. But that's a real mask I'm working on.
This is my child.
Yeah. This is my son. I am proud papa. Oh, thanks, Rich. I'm not a zombie guy either. We chose this book because we hate it. No.
We're subverting it.
We were like, let's deconstruct zombies. Nobody's done that before.
What if it's actually the people who are bad?
Whoa. Holy shit. Kevin sends me the most hilarious shit. Oh my god. Good times. Dude, we gotta get Vince on here too. So I think I might wait and see what Pete is doing really quick. Is he on already? I don't know if he is or not yet. That was one of the other color blobs I did earlier while I was hanging out with Pete. and I can start inking around with that now. I feel like I like confused the hell out of Rob and Pete because I do this like all backwards, and they were like, "Oh, that's weird. You do like an underpainting and then you ink it." I was like, "Yeah, because I'm an idiot." The title with Fat Mary Jane because that her real body. I'll do the Fat Mary Jane storyline, whatever. What do we got?
Is that a thing?
What's up?
Is that a thing? Fat Mary Jane?
No, that's the storyline they're gonna give me because my
Oh.
art's so bad. You're gonna be like, you can't draw women, so just draw like really butch dude. I wonder if that's all a coordinated effort or not, because like if it's not, it's almost more hilarious that like such a big company is just sort of like stumbling through all these huge properties. But then I'm also the guy who's like, who gives a shit about all these huge licenses? I'm gonna keep the stream going. I will pogs, thick pogs. I'm gonna leave the stream running real quick. I need to hit the bathroom and grab like some actual just water to drink. Like the Reaper on my arm. Thanks. That's Greg Merola, another buddy of mine. It's hard to fucking figure out how to show you guys tattoos on here.
The
Break
Raper
my
on your arm?
Yeah. Don't fear the Raper. I got all sorts of dumb shit. We were talking about RoboCop on Pete's stream earlier, and it's hard to show. See, I'm such a dumbass. I don't even know which leg it's on or anything. If I can show you guys real quick, there's my mess of an office right now, and my like 100-year-old what's it called, paper cutter. Hang on though, I gotta take my headphones off, and I'll show you this before I kill my camera, and then I'll come right back. RoboCop, and it says "Your move, creep," and all sorts of other dumb shit. I got the Batman with the shark repellent. Plenty of dumb stuff.
Strong.
But yeah, I'll be back in a minute. And I will check in with Pete and see what he does. Can you hear me, Jeff?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, cool. Yeah, hold down the fort. I will be back in a minute.
And did you leave? He left it on himself. So nobody can see me drawing. All right, well, anybody got any questions? Want to talk about anything? Josh. Yeah, there we go. I'm drawing. This is Hank's goodie bag. I got a bunch of my favorite 80s weapons. I don't know if you can kind of see it right there. I think that's called, what was it, the Calico? Can't remember what it's called. But this gun is from Maniac Cop 2. And then this right here, if you can see that, it's a Galil. I just like it. I think it's cool. And right here, this is the laser revolver from Jason Lives. And then what else we got here? Anybody know what this knife is from? Get a little bit closer, maybe you can see it better. Tell me in the chat if you know what that knife's from. Then we also got some like, Colt 45, and then a Colt 45. You live my drawing table? That's weird. That doesn't make any sense. see in this panel here. One of his other goodies is a bag of weed. We got some just random pills and coke. I can keep messing up. And this right here, I can get that angled. That is my cameo. Because it's an elk. Because I'm clever like that. I don't know if you can see it. Like there's a bright. That should be better. Right there. Does nobody have any guesses about the knife? I think I might die tonight from my allergies. What do you ink with, Ryan? Are you a brush guy? Count Pagan got it. Kevin got it. It's the knife from Cobra. I don't even know what was the point of that, of the scissors. Like, did Stallone just think that it would look cool? Preferred tools: Raphael brush, Hunt 102, deleter nib, zebra brush markers. I got some deleters, and I got the. This is what I use for my speed lines. It's what they call it, the Maru pen. Really, Spencer, you bet.
I always forget about the fucking scissor pizza scene.
Yeah, what the fuck was up with that?
So good. That feels like one of those like back in the 80s when everybody was just trying to think up like badass shit.
Like, yo, so I was thinking, like, what if I just took this piece of pizza and like cut it in half? Like, Sly, you're sliding, Sly.
That's kind of going in the opposite direction of what we thought of when we said badass.
Wait, is that why you talk that way? Are you having a stroke?
Yeah. Isn't that like why his shit's all fucked up? He has like a defect from during his birth.
Yeah, it was something with his birth.
His mom's cervix crushed his head.
But you know what I thought was funny too? Like Milo Ventimiglia, was it Ventimiglia? Is that how you say it? He played his son in Balboa, and he also has one of those, like that weird lip thing.
And then he got robbed by Keanu Reeves for a comic. Slice Stallone. Call me Slice. For my tiny mouth. I can't articulate my lips.
Like, all right,
That's why
for this scene slide, we want you to eat a pizza. I was like, I can't really eat on camera, guys.
how sad would that be? That's like legitimately why he has to cut up the pizza because he'd choke on it otherwise. It's legitimately the exact opposite of being a badass with pizza.
They just filmed him. He's like choking, like
Yeah.
5 scenes in a row.
That was
One more take, Sly. You can do it.
that was the 5th take after they realized having a hot chick cutting up pizza for his character didn't work.
He doesn't know how to chew.
Yeah,
how do you do it, guys?
get rid of the pizza girl feeding her. We'll just have Sly cutting it up with scissors. That feels more organic. That's a stereotype perpetuated by Aussies. I used an X-Acto to slice up my Totinos. Open face pizza rolls. You fancy bastard. Oh my god, man. Fucking hilarious. Yeah, I thought Pete said he was going to get on at 9:30, but he also said he might not, so who knows what the fuck is happening. We'll keep going, though. Let the good times roll. Ryan, did you want to get in? I asked earlier. I don't know if you were still here. You're more than welcome to join us. I guess I should probably just throw the link up in the little alternate chat we got. Yes, see, Kevin, he grew adult size, but his esophagus stayed the size of a baby's. Dude, baby throat is literally the theme of this fucking channel.
Wait, I'm like Stallone? Oh my god.
Jeff also suffers from baby throat. And I have toddler brain.
I thrive with baby throat.
It's just his nose is a mess.
That's what's killing me right now. My baby throat can't handle the snot.
You heard it here first, folks. We got it before TMZ. The scoop on Sly's baby throat. Yeah, you can come too, Rich, if you want to, man. I will drop the link. I think I still got it copied here. Sorry, I'm like, somebody called me a boomer on one of the Alterna streams the other night. They thought I was way older than I am because I'm just the fucking worst with streaming.
We're gonna have all of our audience in our stream.
Yeah, the links are in our little Alterna fan club group chat right now, and actually Pete just sent me a link. If anybody's up and wants to join for a late night stream, he's going live at around 10:30. Okay, so we'll keep going for a half hour here. Maybe keep going too. Maybe we'll fucking stream while Pete streams. Yeah. G'ing off.
Thanks, man. I'm doing it for you guys. I do it all for you.
Nothing for his wife.
No, I'm the freeloader. I'll admit it.
Right, I'm like, Beth's all wildly successful, and I'm just a heathen.
Who needs retirement?
Yeah. What's a pension? Seriously, someone tell me.
What's this thing called? Security?
It's like every time I see something bad about comic creators, like at the end of their life doing horrible and like living in a van, and I'm like, oh yeah, shit to look forward to. trying to keep an eye out for if anybody pops into the stream. Don't want to leave them waiting backstage forever.
Oh, but Ryan was saying he uses brushes and nibs. And
Yeah,
yes, last time we were on the stream, we were talking about how neither one of us does that.
Yeah, Ryan's like a legitimate artist and shit. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm like, we got to have him on sometime to talk about what that's like.
He's like, let me tell you all the ways that you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, he's at his house right now, screaming at the TV, watching me do art. Oh, here we go. What is up, Rich? How you doing,
How's it going, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. You're a little robotic, but that could just be on my end. Do you hang up art in your office, Jeff?
I have tons of art in here, not of my own.
He's like Kanye Westing it. Just tons of your own shit.
I got right there, if you can see, I got a Danger Diabolic poster from Italy.
Oh, hell yeah.
And that's a signed print from Eric Jones. I got that because she has a tattoo of Virginia above her groin area.
Virginia.
And then up there is a poster from Electra Lives. And over here, I got original sketches from Alex Toth.
Oh, fuck.
And then I made a little thing up there. I don't know if you can see it. I can't look at the screen right now. But I got rules I made up from Alex Toth, just as reminders. And then over there, I got Wally Wood's 22 panels that always work. Same reason, just to have reminders of like how not to suck.
I've been meaning to print that out. That and his whole steal everything.
Yeah, I got a ton of art. I just have nothing. Like I need more frames. That's the problem.
Right. That's why I messaged you and was like, I think I'm gonna do frames for any of the original art sold on the campaign too, because I just need to order more frames anyways.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, Kevin asked if you hang dong in your office.
Every day, son. You know how we do. I got my Posca now.
Hell yeah. I fucking love those things. I spent like years trying to find like a whiteout pen or something that actually worked. And then I finally tried those and I was like, yes.
With the ink I use though, like I use these Tombos.
Yeah.
And they kind of smear sometimes, so I have to wait until they're really dry to go over them.
Yeah, I still have that problem with some stuff. Like if I do that, it'll gray a little bit. It won't actually turn white. But if it's dry, man, it goes right over it. Like it's beautiful.
And even then, like if you just do 2 layers, it shows up white.
Yeah. Okay, we got some eyes.
It's not letting me share my screen, guys.
Oh.
That sucks. All right, I guess I'm going to have to go get my pencil. I'm going to have to do the old-fashioned way.
Face. It's like, I'm still pretty dumb with StreamYard, too, so it might be something on my end, but...
it says browser can't access your screen. Try capturing a different screen to see if this continues.
Oh, yeah, that's really weird.
upset with it.
Yeah.
At first, I thought it was Rich Johnson. I was like, "What? Really?"
Yeah, right.
Johnson, Rich Johnson.
Holy shit! There's your channel right there, dude. You just do a
I'm Rich
parody
Johnson.
of Rich Johnson.
All right, let me.
Just get your worst British accent going and
Right, I'm Johnson, Rich
Yeah.
Johnson.
just be an absolute douche.
Or wait, I can be a dick.
Right?
Get it? Rich dick.
Or you just be a really nice dude and confuse everybody and make them think you're legitimately him and he's made a turn for the better. Just give him all sorts of great publicity.
Afternoon, mate.
Right.
I'm Dick
Just-
Johnson.
Go around apologizing to all the pros he's slighted over the years,
Sorry, I'm so sorry I said that to you those years ago.
making earnest amends, cleaning this man's life up for him.
Wait a minute, which step is that for AA? I can't remember.
Rich, I skipped them all and got your life back on track for you, buddy.
All right, let me go get my pencil. I'll be right back.
Yeah, man.
A good pencil.
The real one. Man, I wish I just had like a stupid disposable income. I would be like, all right, Rich, I'm now paying you to impersonate another Rich. The greatest thing I ever wrote was fixing a British comic journalist's fucking life for him.
Oh, was he really British? I didn't know that.
I believe so. That'd be hilarious if he's living over in the UK and faking being a Brit.
Just doing the worst British accent in front of them.
Yeah, like his wife is British or something, and he just like moved over there.
Just Madonna'd it. Hope somebody notices that he's doing an accent.
Madonna in it has a completely different meaning since COVID hit. It's like, actually, has anybody checked on her? like week 2, she was getting really fucking weird. I don't know where she's at now.
He looks like Ron Perlman when he was the Beast from that Beauty and the Beast show.
Take it easy, Josh. Thanks for stopping by, dude.
Later.
Okay, back.
All right.
I got my pencil.
A
Real
real
right on. All right. Name that tune.
drawing dead guys is fun because I can't really fuck it up.
I can't draw dead people. I see idiot people, but I can't draw dead people.
You just got to break into morgues and stare at them for hours like I do. No.
That's scary.
That putting out a weird air of mystery about myself. I can't be too much of an open book. I need to make people like afraid to even get near me.
You got to change it up. You got to throw them curveballs.
Yeah.
Start talking about magic like Alan Moore.
I was just joking. I kind of half joking, half serious, but I was saying the other day the next logical step for me in comics is to just move into my wizard phase, where I either perpetuate my beard and my long hair, or I go completely bald and keep letting my beard grow.
So you shit on Lord of the Rings, and then you want to be Gandalf.
Yeah, right?
Gandalf the Grey.
Hypocrite.
Want to be Gandalf.
The wannabe Gandalf.
Just appropriating wizard culture.
Yeah. I gotta do something, man. I've got none of my own. See, this, I keep fucking with myself as I do these guys. Because now this dude just looks like a lazy-ass Martian Manhunter.
Making zombie Manhunter.
Make them? My name's John.
You can see my crotch.
For free?
The good stuff.
Well, I'm not going to undercut my OnlyFans. All right, here we go. Let's see. I don't know what. Now I don't know what to draw.
And that's not the website. We're just his only fans.
Yeah. Wait a minute. I have fans? All right. I should probably just do some. Yeah, I guess I'll just do some warm up.
That's the logical next step.
Warm up? Warm up or OnlyFans?
The campaign bombed, so I'm showing my butthole on the internet. You think DC would sue me if I started a character called Martian Dan Hunter? And he just hunts guys named Dan? But he's also named John, and he's still just like a green guy with like a red belt on.
Yeah, you just shift the belt so it looks more like a T.
It's blue. I'm throwing out gold here, guys. You can have Martian Dan Hunter for free. Sure, everybody will be jumping on that.
I'm already on the copyright webpage.
Scribbling it down in the margins.
Yeah, I'm on.
Martian Dan Hunter.
Martian Dan Hunter.
Find list of famous, interesting Dans to hunt. That's basically like 90% of my notes when I'm writing comics. If you guys want to know the reality of how shit like Voidwalker happens, famous Dans. I'll write like 2 words like that, and my crazy brain will know what that means weeks later.
We don't know where he gets his ideas from, but they're bloody brilliant.
I will say, Voidwalker 4 is the first time I'm like legitimately nervous again for a book to come out. The first issue of Cade, I'm like, oh hell yeah, slam dunk. That's gonna be ridiculous. But like Voidwalker 4, I'm legitimately like, I hope it's fulfilling for everybody that stayed from issue 1. And we're only 4 issues in. Ryan, you gonna be on Pete's stream tonight, guy? My magic phase just consisted of eating tons of mushrooms. The best kind of magic. That's really my logical next step into wizardry. I'm just gonna
learn how to tap mana.
Alex. Tap mana.
Tap mana.
I haven't tapped mana in a long time.
Tap 3 red mana.
There's our next book, Jeff. We got to do John Wick via a wizard.
He's a planeswalker.
I haven't tapped mana in a damn long time. The fuck does that mean?
I don't ever tap my mana in public.
I tried it once, but I got a ticket. Can everybody like kind of see this? I guess everybody can kind of see this, really. Reverse. Yeah.
Dude, no one can even see what I'm doing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I guess.
As long as you're doing it.
I'm doing it.
I'm doing it well.
Oh, you beat me to it.
Haha.
This is my moment.
All right, guys, I gotta sign off. It's my window.
I'm sorry. I'll be back in like 3 minutes. I just need to go grab some tissues.
For me?
No, I was talking about me.
I know.
I'm weird like that.
I need more tissues.
I'm gonna cry.
Can somebody just pay me to paint fucking stupid zombies all day? Can we go back in time so I can draw Walking Dead?
Paradox.
Do you prefer Charlie Adler or
Fuck no.
what's his name? Tony Moore?
Tony Moore all day.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. Moore's another one of those dudes that when I talked to you early on, you're another one of the guys that reminds me of him just because it's that balance of like there's just enough realism in your art and then it's cartooning, which is why I like grew up loving comics. It's like if I wanted realism, I'd just fucking look at photo books all day or something. Like
Right.
I love that you have fun and stretch things and exaggerate things. Same thing with Kevin. Like you guys have distinct styles. I'm not saying you look like Tony Moore's style. It's just that knowing how much of the realism needs to be there before you can just dive into having fun with it.
Yeah, I am pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And handsome. And
Yeah.
smart.
Oh, so handsome.
And thin.
It's just that damn baby throat that's holding you back, man.
That's my bread and butter. That's how I earns my living.
Do the Atkins.
Oh. Almost got another guy here. Close to done.
I'm gonna try and put out a commercial to raise money for Baby Throat with Stallone. Just the
Yeah.
two of us.
Dude, that would be wildly impressive.
Baby Throat affects approximately 2 people out of all 330 million people on the earth.
You know, Adrian.
Just me and this guy.
Please help me, the multimillionaire, and this bum.
He doesn't even take the time to learn your name.
He just calls me the bum.
This
Hey, yo, bum. Get over here, bum.
No.
he gives you the same speech he gives Milo in the end of that Rocky movie. You're like, you know, I'm not your kid, right?
It has to be better than the Rambo speech. Is like, hey, yo, live for nothing or die for something. What do I gotta die for? What are you talking about?
I'd rather live for nothing, I guess, if this is a choice.
I live in the suburbs, man.
That's like saying all thumbs are fingers, but not all fingers are thumbs.
That would at least make me think a little harder.
I can't see anything that the chat is saying about how terrible my drawing is.
I gotta start stocking booze. Take it sleazy. Take it easy, Kevin. Gonna check the topic first. Ryan's afraid the topic might be lynchings.
And go.
Well, I'm not hanging around for that one.
Took a weird turn.
Tonight's guest
It's like I
is
feel
David
like
Duke.
that's how like the news is now, so I just like don't turn on like actual TV anymore. It's
I stopped watching that.
it's like aliens landed and they're murdering everybody. I'm like, yep, turning it off.
At Tenet, they had a preview for this movie called Greenland with what's his face, Leonidas. Yeah, and it's all just about asteroids hitting the Earth and destroying everything. I was like, do we need this movie right now?
Yeah, that was supposed to come out like right before COVID hit, I think originally, and it was one of the ones that got pushed back.
Oh, 10 cent or whatever.
The stupid Gerard Butler guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Greenland.
that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a disaster movie like 2012 and all that, but they were like, maybe we shouldn't do this like right now. Like,
There, people are, pandemic and whatnot.
Look, guys, riots are huge right now. We gotta get in this market.
yeah, shelf the global disaster movie. Nobody even cares we're in a pandemic anymore.
No, more polar bears swimming.
Who's testing hot right now? Gerard Butler. David lynchings. It's like racism, but you can't understand what it means. Giving this guy all this shitty stubble.
Oh my God. I just realized I draw like my friend Miker.
With your eyes closed?
Pretty much.
I just lay down a piece of paper, close my eyes, and scream, Jesus, take the wheel. Just like the Renaissance guys did it.
Back in the days of yore.
This kind of just looks like old, dead Bloodshot.
I think I got one there. I hope Ryan is still watching and paying attention so we can critique my inking.
Show them how it's done.
Yeah, right. How not to do it.
Watch so you can learn a thing or two, Ryan.
No one is worthless. You can always be used as a horrible example.
Yeah, I'm going to be that guy in comics that people are like, I just need to be better than this chud.
I feel what? Yeah, I'm better. That dude's a loser. What? No.
Rob's never going to let me on his show now that you said that on my channel.
Sorry. Totally
This is our
didn't.
shot.
I'm sorry, Rob. I totally didn't mean. Please don't send Deadpool.
I had such a shot of hanging out with Rob Liefeld until we let Rich on
And I screwed it up.
to bag on Liefeld.
Feel like Dobby now. Curse me.
I love seeing all the people that are still ragging on him for selling the rights to Terrific.
Yeah.
Like someone was just doing it today, and I was like, damn, nobody is ever going to let this dude live this shit down.
I don't know the story. What is it?
He basically sold the rights to Youngblood like back in the day where he was hard up to this other guy, and the dude just sold it to Terrific LLC, Andrew Rev, and fucking
Oh.
it's been a fiasco on Twitter for like 2 years, and they haven't released a damn thing. And Terrific also has been having a bunch of trouble with artists and writers coming out that they aren't getting paid.
Isn't that kind of par for the course with most comic book companies?
Yeah, that's why I thought it was funny that all these other companies were like ragging on them, like dunking on them when these companies don't pay people either. But full disclosure, Terrific reached out to me specifically early on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And what plot on the moon were they offering to give you?
Funny story. They were offering some convoluted shit about like real estate in like Asia or some shit.
Wait, for real?
Oh, no lie.
What?
They had me sign an NDA that was like not a real NDA.
Which is why you're talking about it now.
I didn't sign up for anything because they were basically like trying to get me to agree to a full series before hearing any sort of terms.
Yeah, that's not suspicious at all.
Yeah, which makes no fucking sense either.
I mean,
I was telling Ryan about this like while it was all going on, and we were having a good laugh about it and everything. There was a point in time where I was like, do I reach out to like a news, like a comic book news site, and like write an article for them on this, like from the inside perspective of how ridiculous this is? I didn't, but I was like, it got so insane at one point. And then they hounded me for weeks to sign the NDA and talk business with them. And then when I did, they showed me like a map for a theme park.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no lie, like a map for a theme park that Rev like drew on like a bar napkin.
they wanted you to become an investor?
I have no fucking clue, dude. Like I could go back and read through all the messages and I still wouldn't be able to figure out what was going on.
You're like, yeah, this looks nice.
This drawing was like something like a small child would draw up and be like, this is what my house is going to look like when I'm older.
And we're going to have people in costumes, and this one's called Mortimer Mouse, and this.
Yeah, like it was fucking bonkers.
He's just talking to you like, I like roller coasters. Do you like roller coasters?
I like tunnels.
They essentially pitched at me that they had this one guy that was writing like the mainline Youngblood series. I didn't know who he was at the time. I'm not going to like throw his name out here or anything. It's not their fault. They get sucked into working for Terrific. And maybe they're getting paid. I don't fucking know. I never saw a cent of anything, but I also didn't do any work for them. But it was just like one hilarious thing after another to a point where I was like, even if this were real money, it's not even worth it at this point. And they got through basically telling me there was somebody writing like a mainline Youngblood story, but then we're like, but if you can write something better, we'll get rid of his and we'll use yours. And that's when I was immediately like, there's something weird going on here.
That's shady as shit.
Yeah. It's like, I wouldn't want to do that if I worked for like fucking a year or two on this series and then my series just got canned because some other guy came along and came up with a better idea before we made it to print.
Yeah, it's like, how do they I expect you to think that. Like, okay, we're going to screw somebody else for you. So in the future, we'll probably screw you over for somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what the fuck?
This sounds like a great idea, guys. You must really like me.
Because I think that's why those guys got such a weird MO and those stories just kept coming out over and over again. It's like,
because the parent company is Shady LLC.
Yeah, right. Andrew Rev was like a Comico guy or something back in the day, and I guess helped like throw in some financing money on Image or something. That might be some bullshit he put out into the world, but
Comico. I mean, the guys that also did the Robotech one?
I don't know. Like, I don't know enough about it. I think it was Comico. They were like a distributor or something. Way back in the day. I would have been like a child.
I used to buy their Robotech comics.
Wasn't the deal with Robotech that it was like 2 shows combined? The American office?
3.
3?
Yeah, it was Super Dimensional Fortress Macross.
Japanese of a name.
Yeah, it's 3 totally different anime series. Just kind of
way more fucking sense because I saw Macross Plus like when I was really young, and then Robotech, and was like, "What the fuck is going on? This is like a blatant ripoff."
Yeah, they just bought the U.S. rights and they just redid it.
That makes way more sense. How I never found that out.
It was like with Star Blazers and Space Battleship Yamato.
Jesus.
I used to love those toys though. They were really cool.
I had the Cyclone Rider. I had Scott Bernard with the Cyclone motorcycle. That was the bomb. I love those things. I thought that was the coolest.
What was their version of the chicken walker called?
Oh, battle pods. The Zentradi battle pods.
Yeah, I had those. Well, I had one of them.
Yeah,
I think it was badass.
those are cool. I still watch. I mean, last I knew, the entire Robotech series was on Netflix.
Yeah, I want to watch it and see what it was like because I never really watched it as a kid. I just had the toys. By the time I was growing up, like the show was basically off air.
I used to run home from high school to watch it.
That's how it was with fucking Gundam Wing.
Yeah, me and my friends, we were all like, the next day at school, we'd be like talking about it. And did you see what happened in such and such? That was awesome. And then Rick hauled off and smacked Min-May.
Anime where you could smack chicks and it's still cool.
Disclaimer: no, it's not.
Right? Smacking women is never cool.
We don't need people coming back and saying this guy said. Okay, so this is.
I'm canceled day 2 of my YouTube channel.
That took care of that, Spence.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Not bad for a non-professional, I guess. Not bad for some dude that talks into a microphone for a living.
That's a sweet living.
Nah, not really, believe it or not.
Do you know anybody that'll pay me to draw zombies all day?
Nope. All right. What do I do now? Let's see.
I wish I could get paid to talk all day, Rich, but I sound like a cartoon character.
Believe it or not, sometimes with processing, you can actually sound better.
Spencer just shows up in the next episode. What's up, guys? How's it going?
Crazy auto-tune.
Auto-tune the news.
This guy looks fucking stupid. Which is what everybody wants to hear all the time, I'm sure. Back us. Get one of these sketches. They're
Oh, I
fucking
hate everything.
If you really want one of my sketches, just ask him.
Hunt him down and wait outside his house.
Just don't freak out the wife.
I'm just here for art. We were talking about brushes, so I was like, I'm going to do this whole one with just the brush pen. Like a messy idiot. Kind of just looks like a modern day Frankenstein now. God damn it. I made this guy too green. No matter what I do, he just looks like something else.
But it'll probably still be better than Frankenstein with Aaron Eckhart.
I Frankenstein. It should have like gin in it and stuff. They're like, we're making it a Marvel movie, but it's gonna suck worse.
I felt so bad for Aaron Eckhart because he was kind of set to be the next leading man, and then just one movie, and it was like, okay, now you're doing I Frankenstein.
Then everybody realized he had alopecia, and they were like, you can't be a leading man. Did you know that about him?
No.
Yeah. That's a wig.
Is it really?
Yeah, he's completely bald.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow. But you know what? That's perfect for Lex Luthor.
Right?
He'd be great.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that movie Thursday with him and Tom Jane?
I haven't seen that, but I was gonna say I always loved him in fucking Suspect Zero.
I haven't seen that.
Oh
What is
my
that?
god, dude, you have to watch that then. Such a weird one. I don't even want to like tell you anything about it. It's very like 90s, early 2000s feeling, like it'll feel a bit dated for you and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about once you watch it, but like
Okay.
really like I really enjoyed that movie the first time I saw it, and it's just such a weird concept. It kind of deals with stuff from MK Ultra without ruining
Oh, cool.
but it's him and Ben Kingsley basically carry that entire fucking movie. And it's sort of like a like serial killer, like suspense thriller. But yeah, I really liked that movie when that first came out. And that was, I think, around the time where I found out that dude had alopecia, and I was like, "Whoa, I never knew that." Like,
You were like, fuck that guy now.
yeah, fuck that bald idiot.
Yeah, Thursday is kind of like the way you first described it, as like a late 90s, early 2000s. Like you can definitely get that sense of the time period in it.
Yeah,
But it's a pretty good movie. It's like right before Tom Jane did The Punisher. So it was like it's basically Aaron Eckhart and him are the Gecko brothers. But Tom Jane has given up that life to live a normal life as an architect. And then all the bad shit from his old life comes into his new suburban life and just fucks everything up for him.
okay, kind of like a history of violence angle.
Yeah, it's more with like a Tarantino like comical vibe,
Yeah,
you know? It's a good movie. I haven't seen it in forever, but when I first saw it, I liked it a lot.
definitely have to check that one out. That sounds right up my alley.
I've always been a big fan of Thomas Jane.
Dropping in heavy blacks.
Did you?
Yeah, I remember when I found out he was like a fucking male prostitute early on. Like,
Yeah, that's
hoeing
why
it
I'm the fan.
And the funniest thing was like right before all the Me Too stuff started popping off, he did like an interview where he was just like, "Yeah, that's just like part of the industry, man." Like what? Like, it's like, so you take a shot in the mouth and then you're a fucking action star. It's like, what?
Take a shot in the mouth. Now you're shooting blanks.
Yeah, he's like, might as well have been like, if I had to go back, I'd suck that dick all over again. Like,
You ever see the videos of him where he's drunk at conventions?
no, that sounds amazing.
Oh, they're the best. There's the one like he's doing this interview and he's completely drunk and there's like a Chewie walking in the background. And he starts going off on a rant about pedophiles and he's just like, "Yeah, you should kill them all. Like put one between their eyes."
So he really is just Frank Castle.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the fan made short that he did, Laundry Day?
Yeah, that was great.
That was awesome.
That was basically his plea to stay the Punisher.
And they should have kept him.
Yeah.
Not to diss John Bernthal. He was good. He was
Mhm.
really, really good. But yeah,
John Bernthal, they should have just given a vehicle for a fucking action series, though. Like,
he should have had an action series a long time ago. I mean,
and
Yeah,
that
I
dude,
was,
if you know anything about him, he's legit. Like, he grew up in like a rough area and was like essentially got into acting when he was treading into very criminal territory. Like,
yeah, I liked him a lot and he was great in the second season of Daredevil as Punisher.
yeah,
But that series, I just hated it. I was like, this is not Punisher. This is government agency man.
there was like some really good little tidbits in it, but like, it was weird when early on I didn't like the whole like protecting the girl angle.
Yeah.
And then
Wait, are you
like,
talking about the second season or the first season?
I think that's the second season.
Yeah, because I only saw the first season.
I didn't like that angle at first, and then it became like one of the only real good parts of it is like that feels like something the Punisher would do, like a nice little self-contained story where he gets wrapped up in helping just this regular fucking person.
Right.
But it was like it always felt like there was some weird disconnect with it. Like it just didn't quite feel like him. It almost felt like he got too involved personally with people.
Yeah, well, that's what the first season was. It was just so boring. It's like he's gonna go play ball with this kid, And the whole time he's just going, "Good job, sport. Great job. Oh yeah, buddy. Good job." And I was like, "What the fuck is the Punisher doing? Like, I'm gonna go fix your garage. I'm gonna go do this. Like, can't we just get him killing people? He's doing housework."
Where is it? Where's
And
the material here?
And he also seemed like a dummy in that first season. Like he was just like a slobbering like moron.
Yeah, right.
Had to have everything explained to him. Like, "Oh no, Punisher, you can't go do that because then you'll draw everybody to us and kill us." He's like, "Ugh." He just grunt.
He'd have really good lines. Like the fucking writing for him in Daredevil was amazing.
Yeah, Daredevil. That's what I said. Like that Daredevil season was awesome, and I was like so excited for the show.
1 batch, 2 batch, penny and a dime episode where he fucking takes out the Irish.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's like some of the best writing in all of that Marvel stuff, and they just botched all of it after that.
Yep. And I really wanted Tom Jane to do his sequel because he was going to bring in John Milius to direct it and write it.
That'd have been fucking wild. That's one of those dudes where if I had the job already and they were like, "We want to get Milius," I'd be like, "I am stepping down." That's what you have to do, though. Like and it would be so. I'm honestly shocked after all the success of the John Wick series that they weren't like, "We're doing a Punisher movie." Like if I were Marvel and like the Marvel movies started to fall off and stop making as much money, just do a Punisher movie where he starts killing fucking heroes.
But they'll never do like a real R-rated Punisher, I don't think. Like, you know, now that Marvel's gonna be making it. And in terms of the movie, not for like TV and stuff.
Yeah, right.
Those make them
got that one because it was like right at the tail of the Disney shit.
Yep. Like I'm concerned about Daredevil too, because if they do bring him to Disney Plus, are they gonna allow it to be the show it was? You know?
They're already censoring the shit out of like very mild stuff on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I don't know how about this.
Sorry. Pop in a little bit of white in here.
What are they saying in chat, Spence? I can't see anything. Are they calling me?
Institute popped in. I said, "What's up?" And Ryan's here. Chat's slowing down, relaxing while we all zone out and draw. Ryan saw him many times at San Diego Comic-Con having a good time at the Hyatt bar. Assuming he's talking about Thomas Jane's lushy ass.
I legitimately love him.
I think he's a great actor. He was my favorite Punisher. Like,
and you know what's cool about him too is that he just straight up says like, "I just want to make it. I think it's cool." Nice.
All with a brush pen, which was miserable. Yeah, no, that's what I loved it too when he did Dirty Laundry. It was like, this is a guy he flipped the bill for that too. Like he paid for the budget on that.
He the man.
Yeah, like that's fucking cool as fuck. And granted, that Punisher script for the movie he did was not very good. Like I still love that movie, but that movie was fucking weird and like all over the place. There's great scenes in it, but there's so much of that movie that feels like filler and just like they were like, we need to hit on this note from the comic and this note from the comics. Like it didn't feel like a linear story. It was just kind of like a bunch of bad days in Frank's life. But I guess that kind of works too for the format of it. But I'm like, if that's the case, just give us a TV series like that. Like, bring Thomas Jane back, and just like every episode is just him getting into more knockdown, drag out bullshit with like familiar faces and new faces alike. Like,
And he's perfect now too because he's all haggard and older.
yeah,
You know?
like he'd have to put on like 20, 30 pounds again in muscle, which would be nothing, and he'd be fine again. Like,
Yeah, like that
old
movie, I liked it a lot.
Dad.
It's still like you said, it's not a perfect Punisher film by any means, but it is an enjoyable movie. It's just a fun action movie.
Yeah. I wish they had been able to get Travolta to do something for Saint.
Yeah,
Like even in the comics, the dude just wore like a white like mask with like eye holes. Like that wouldn't have been that extreme, but he was still like up his own ass. John Travolta. Like I bet you Travolta now would be totally cool with it. Like Travolta, what, 15 years, 20 years ago when that shit came out? That was a while ago at this point.
oh, it's 2003,
Yeah. Insane.
and I love that Thomas Jane broke his shoulder making the movie because he was just so dedicated. He threw himself into that wall as hard as possible.
Yeah. Right. What's up, Casey? I am getting blown up again.
How dare you, sir? You'll get the Russian treatment.
In Russia, Communist Party draw you.
Yeah, and that was just one of those like perfect castings. Kevin Nash as the Russian.
Yeah,
Even fucking weirdo, what's his name, was great in that movie. Jesus, why can't I think of it now?
Ben Foster.
Yeah, Ben Foster.
Yeah,
I love that you knew immediately what I was talking about.
yep.
Was that Rebecca Romaine?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it was.
The chick that okay.
And they just played that Seether song every time she shows up. It's just-
My God.
like she just listens to the same song every night.
Fucking The Man in Black.
Oh, that was bizarre.
That's what I mean though. Is like there's
but
all
that-
these scenes that are very clearly like pulled from the comics and stuff and written almost like they could be one episode of a TV show, but they're condensed into like a 5-minute scene in that movie.
But I love that song too.
Oh yeah, no, and I love that whole like little section of the movie where he like chases him down in the road and fucking kills him.
Yeah,
They're, like
he
hanging
has
out.
he has the knife. That's from the comics too.
Yeah.
The knife that shoots out.
Yeah,
Yep.
the ballistic knife. I remember seeing that. That was like in issue 1 or 2 of Punisher War Journal.
That's what I mean though, is there's so many of those moments. The fucking popsicle
Yeah.
popsicle welding scene. Like,
It was like Punisher Warzone with John Romita Jr.
yep.
Yeah. And I love that. I love that book because in the back it always had like profiles of the weapons that he used.
Yeah.
I learned so much from that. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, was it War Journal where they had all the drawings and stuff in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember as a kid getting that and being like, "This is stupid. Like it's just random pictures." But now I look at it, I'm like, "Holy shit, this thing's amazing! It's such a cool idea."
There's like here's reference for artists for years. But
Yeah.
I didn't realize it until they're fucking ancient.
Oh, I wish I still had my Punisher War Journal #1. I really do.
I used to have copies of Terror Inc. That's what Jorge Zaffino did for Marvel back in the day. And at the time, I was like, "This is so ugly. I hate it." And then, 20 years later, I'm like, "Zaffino's God." And I'm like, "Why the hell did I throw all that stuff away?"
Oh man. Oh yeah, Pete's on now. I will mute my mic for a minute. I purposely didn't drink tonight, and I still feel like I'm going to the bathroom every 5 minutes. So I'm gonna run to the bathroom really quick and see if Pete wants us to jump over there. And I'll be right back.
I can't draw hands.
Rich, were you a fan of the Punisher Warzone movie?
Oh, who? Oh, yeah. That was that one that came out like between Dolph Lundgren and Thomas Jane, right?
No, it was between Thomas Jane and the TV show. It was the
Oh,
one with Ray Livingston, I think his name is.
I actually never watched that because I don't know, something about the guy I didn't get the vibe that he was yeah, I just didn't get the vibe from him. So.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that one. It was really cheesy.
Oh, it was. Oh, I'm glad I missed it then.
Yeah, it has like the Punisher hanging upside down from a chandelier, which just seemed very unpunisher like to me.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I'll agree with you there.
The guy looked good. You know, he looked like the Punisher from the comics, but I just thought it was a really dopey movie.
Meow.
Oh yeah, that's my cat. That's just me. I'm just weird.
You just meow for no reason.
It's a secret to my art.
Dollar bill, yo, I meow.
It was your favorite Punisher movie, Ryan? How dare you? Huh. I did not know that. I don't know if you ever heard the Dread movie that came out years ago. Originally had a score by, I think it was Jeff Barrow, called Drock. If you haven't heard it, that thing is badass. It's one of my favorite film scores.
Is that the Carl Urban one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I like that one. That was a good one.
Yeah, a lot of people like Warzone, but one of the big problems to me with it was, you know, the Punisher is the most driven character in like all of comics. So you can never have him give up on it. And that movie starts with him accidentally killing a cop, and he's contemplating giving up on being the Punisher. You know, it's like right from the get go, they kind of misunderstood him.
Yeah. I agree.
But they do that in all the movies. They did it in the Tom Jane one too, where like at the end of it, he's gonna kill himself. And then on the TV show, after killing all the bad guys in the very beginning in that first episode, he gave up being the Punisher for a while. But he would never do that. He's the most dedicated man in the universe.
He is driven, baby. I can't draw hands.
Vern Hogarth has some pretty good tutorials on that.
Vern Hogarth?
Yeah,
Why have I heard that name?
he's like done a million different art books.
Oh, okay.
I used to draw claw hands. I had an illustration professor that called me out on it. So every time I was showing something, I would like study hands all night long on each assignment, just praying they didn't look at claws.
See, I'm so used to digital because I know I can just go in and I can rework it until I can fake it.
Mm-hmm. Warzone's the only one you've seen, Institute. Unfortunately, there isn't like a pure great Punisher movie. There's only like snippets of great Punisher stuff in them.
Yeah.
Like to me, if you could have a perfect Punisher movie, it would be like Sam Peckinpah directing, and then have somebody like William Smith. If anybody doesn't know who that is, he was Conan's dad in Conan the Barbarian. And that guy, if you look at pictures of him, he looks just like Frank Castle. And he has like the real life of Frank Castle almost. He was like special forces dude. He speaks like 7 languages, and he was a boxer and a like professional skier. Like he can do everything. He would have been perfect. And I think he was on a Western too.
I have to see his face to know for sure.
He was in
Trying to get Pete to notice my comment.
he was in Every Which Way But Loose, I think.
Oh, okay. I know exactly who you mean.
I think he's still alive.
Punisher Warzone kicks ass, you guys.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
It is the most comic book movie of all comic book movies.
Who is this blasphemer, and where shall we find him?
It has a lady director too.
Who is this blasphemer?
She absolutely killed it, and I always forget her name and feel bad. And originally, fucking Freddie Prinze Jr. was supposed to play Jigsaw, and supposedly had one of the most amazing tryout tapes for it ever.
Hey,
And
Jared.
it's never leaked online. Like everyone who saw his casting call said it was fucking amazing. Evidently, Freddie Prinze Jr. is like a fucking huge comic book nerd, and especially a huge Punisher fan.
He's a big gamer.
Yeah,
He wrote for wrestling too.
Lexi Alexander, exactly. Stunt woman turned director. She's like super badass and did a fucking great job on that movie. That's another one of those ones where it's like another wonky ass script. Dude, that movie is fucking balls to the wall. Like if you're gonna make a stupid Punisher movie, that's the kind of stupid Punisher movie you're supposed to make. Like,
But that's the problem. She treated it like a stupid Punisher movie instead of an awesome Punisher movie.
that's the whole thing, though, is they went full tilt into the, like, we're going to make this very much a live-action comic book. And that was the problem with the Dolph Lundgren one, was they wanted to make it live-action like the comics, but then also make it kind of gritty and realistic, and that's where that one falls apart. It's like, you can't really do an in-between. You got to do one or the other. Like, the fucking Jamaican parkour guy cartwheeling and getting hit with the rocket, dude, fucking brilliant. I love that. Like, go full schlock with it. Marvel, give me $1 million and I'll make you another Punisher Warzone. Like, I would say watch the second season of the Barenthal Punisher just for the good bits in it. If it starts getting slow, fast forward to the next murder scene. Like just go onto YouTube and watch like the highlight reel of that season, because there is some really good little gems in there, but it's a slog to get through. And honestly, I think that whole season was just for like the last 20 minutes of the last episode. There's like a nice little like fuck the government like footnote at the end of all of it that felt very Punisher. And I was like, yeah, this is what the whole season should have been.
That was one of the things that was really funny about the first season. The showrunner was saying like, oh yeah, we wanted to shine a light on the problems that veterans are facing today and the mental health issues. And then the veteran in the show is a literal terrorist who blows up people and kills them.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. Like the court scene, they get into that, and I was like, oh, this is brilliant. And they're immediately just like, no, like this guy's a bad man. This doesn't deal with the struggle at all. Like, there's no gray area to this. It's like, oh yeah, he carved everybody's dicks off and tore their arms off. Like, oh yeah, this is a guy who's just having trouble adjusting to society. No.
The first episode they show him like sleeping with a gun. It's like, oh yeah, that is true. Like a lot of them go through that. It's really sad. And then at the end of it, it's just like, oh no, he's just a bad person.
Dude, the Daredevil rooftop episode that they just fucking ripped straight from the comics.
Yeah.
Where he's just got fucking Daredevil like pinned on the roof with a gun taped to his hand.
Right, and telling him to shoot him.
Yeah, like that's quite possibly the best Bernthal Punisher stuff that we really got, in my opinion. And then obviously like the prison scene and stuff like that. But that's what I mean with the disjointed nature of it, is like it seems like no one ever knows like where to go with it. And I felt like that first season of Daredevil did such a good job of pulling from the comics, but like humanizing it and making it feel real. Like it stripped out just enough from the comics to make it feel like this could actually be happening. And same thing with Daredevil. Like they don't ever really play up in the show, if you've noticed, his whole like, oh, he can fucking see even though he's blind. Like they don't give you really like much of a visualization for it or anything like that. And I think that's a big part of the reason the Ben Affleck movie bombed really hard too, was that's like a good half of that movie is just them showing you how Daredevil sees shit.
Yeah.
Well, did you watch the director's cut of that?
Oh,
they added all that, where they re-added Snoop Dogg's stuff and everything.
I heard.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I haven't watched it, but yeah, I've heard that they do that. They cut out a bunch of that because, like in like movie format, you only really need to show the audience something like that once, and then they understand that shit's happening all the time. Like,
no, the director's cut was actually way better than the theatrical, and I think they should have just re-released the director's cut. I mean, it wasn't a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Way better than what they gave us the first time.
I wish like some fan would just go back and CGI a fucking hood onto Colin Farrell, and that would boost that movie like a million degrees for me. Yeah. Like just not seeing his like horrible bald cap for the entire movie would be unbelievable. Like you don't even need to give him the bullseye on his head, just make him wearing like a black ski mask at this point and I'd be like, perfect. And did the director's cut out the snake rattle every time he tossed his jacket?
No, I don't remember.
A lot of people didn't even like remember that being in the movie, but that was one of the things, like even like as young as I was, that stuck out to me because I was always wicked big into film, and I was like little kid Spencer thought he was going to get into comics, drawing comics, or I was going to be directing movies and doing like horror effects in movies, because my little kid brain thought like when you made a movie and you were a director, you just somehow did like everything.
Okay, yeah.
And in front of the camera, you didn't have, like 600 people working on a movie like some movies are. But yeah. That, oh man. I'm like burning my brain out thinking about it. That snake rattle was just fucking so hilarious. it's like it's really prominent the first time they reveal him in the movie, and he like jumps down and like flips his jacket. He's like still wearing it, but he like throws like the tails of his trench coat, and it's like a snakeskin trench coat. That's I think why they thought it was like, oh, this will be cool, and it does like a rattlesnake like sound, and it's fucking hilarious.
Jeez.
That was that era where like they would just change meaningless things in from the adaptations. Like Elektra's not wearing her regular costume at all.
Yeah.
You couldn't make it look anything like her costume.
I feel that had to be something with like Jennifer Gardner,
Yeah.
or they got her in the costume and they were like, this just looks weird as fuck. But I feel like that's one of those things where like that costume would have translated really well if you had like the right chick for it.
Yeah, I mean, that costume, like, it's a very simple, easily adaptable costume.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just like, nah.
Well, that's the whole thing too, is it's like she's got the version where it's like a one-piece bathing suit, and it's not really like that revealing in the grand scheme of like comic book outfits, which is why I was like, why wouldn't you just do that with like the fucking really big sash or something? Like,
Yeah.
But she was in like everybody was in like leather in that movie.
Yeah, that was the thing that always was so dumb about X-Men when they had that line, like, what were you expecting? Yellow spandex? It's like, yeah, because it's a superhero movie. I want to see that.
No, that's what I was desiring.
I love the fact they threw it to us as a bone in the Wolverine.
In the box.
Yeah. They threw it to us as a bone. How nice of them.
Here's a bone, guys. Imagine this, but on this guy. A bone would have been like he puts it on and then it cuts to black, and we're like, God damn it. But that would have been like them alluding to him wearing it next time, and then they still didn't do that.
And still didn't do it.
Yeah.
It's like, you know how fucking crazy I would go in theaters if fucking Hugh Jackman had walked out in that classic brown one?
Mm-hmm.
I would have gotten up and ripped a hole in the screen.
In Days of Future Past, he's wearing like a blue and yellow undershirt.
Yeah.
And so you can say like, yeah, you could totally do this, guys. It's right there.
Where it almost looked like his outfit in the animated like X-Men Evolution TV show.
Yeah.
He was like a professor at the school.
Mm-hmm.
I actually really liked that show growing up.
Yeah, it was good.
That was I was surprised like Marvel didn't just cherry pick a bunch of shit from that, because they had a lot of really good ideas for like alternate younger versions of them.
I always thought they should have introduced his mask in the Wolverine like early on, because you could have just explained it away as a samurai mask. Like a really weird looking like Oni mask or something like that.
Yeah.
And he could have put that on and worn it for a scene. I don't know how you do it, but just have him wear that for like just to look cool and scary and whatever, just freak people out.
Dudes existed throughout time for a really long time.
And it would have worked perfectly. And then maybe he takes that and adapts it.
And been like, in a past life, this was your armor. Like, you don't remember it anymore.
Right.
You were once known as the Wolverine. And they're like, here's your fucking dope ass armor. And you see it. And it's like, that would make sense, because it does kind of have like a samurai motif to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do like, this was the precursor to it. And now we see the next step. That's where you would get like the brown armor or something, where it still looked like it was form fitting, but it was kind of bulky. And like, that's why I love all the old stuff, is it was like the designs were old because that was the design aesthetic of that era. Yeah, that's coming out awesome, dude. And you ink like fucking crazy fast.
Because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, it's probably for the best, I guess. Yeah, I just like, because like it was the 60s and everything, textiles and everything were different. So you're thinking you basically have a different toolbox and everything, where nowadays like we have like 3D printing and all this other shit. Like it's not like science fiction almost doesn't exist to us anymore. We're like getting towards the limits of like what fucking we can do.
How much stuff from Star Trek is actually real now?
Oh yeah, like
Think about the original series.
Star Trek, and I'm not even super versed in that, but fucking between Star Trek and Philip K. Dick alone, like how
Yeah.
much of that like crazy futurism shit is just like part of our everyday life now.
Mm-hmm.
Tracy, right there on my wrist.
Like the holodeck and everything, dude.
Oh
There-
God, yeah,
There's
VR.
there's so many different versions of that now. People don't want to admit it, but like fucking cam girling is basically like a program you'd run in your holodeck. Like it's granted it's a real person on the other end of it, but it's like all this digital interfacing that we have nowadays is all fucking 40, 50 years ago was just like, isn't this a crazy idea, guys? Like it's like, no, this is just like everyday life to us now.
This is real life.
I feel like that's also another reason we're in this weird like drought of like cool entertainment that's not just like very grounded contemporary stuff. Like I can't think of anything in like the last 10 years that's like a new modern sci-fi story that I've heard that's like, whoa, this is fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like not bashing on anyone. I'm sure I've got friends who are working on kick-ass stories and stuff, but it's like there's nothing that's been jumping out to me. And when I find stuff like that, it's because I fucking had to seek it out.
Yeah, I think there's a thing with just like what's his name? Studio Ghibli guy. What's his name?
Is that Miyazaki?
Miyazaki. He had a whole thing where he talked about anime and how it was like incestuous. Like all the styles were getting, just warped, and there was no humanity left in them.
Like homogenization, same thing with comics.
Right, and then like the stories were all just doing the same thing too. So you were getting these like very disjointed stories that are just all about whatever crazy action or ninja thing or robot thing. And he was saying how like the people making the animes are trying to do their favorite animes combined, as opposed to an original idea that's taking inspiration from things. Like for him, he's really into flight. So a big part of all his stuff is his, love of flight and planes and all that stuff. But these guys, they're just making anime based off anime, which are based off anime, And I see that a lot in comics too, where like there's just in movies and everything. It's just like, oh, remember Terminator? Wasn't that cool? This is like Terminator, but meets Die Hard.
Exactly right. And we live in the future those guys were designing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Philip K. Dick, dude, basically fucking wrote the manual for NSA. Like it's like spooky conspiracy theorist shit. But like one of my favorite fucking movies is A Scanner Darkly. I love the book too. It's like fucking
the movie's really good.
Right.
And Alex Jones is in it.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, he's great.
That's like Robert Downey Jr. on his comeback.
Yeah.
That's a Richard Linklater film too, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly.
Yep.
Fucking amazing rotoscoping animation. The team on that absolutely killed it. Keanu Reeves is sort of playing like a true Burnout version of himself.
Mm-hmm.
Without ruining too much of the story, if you're not aware of it. Yeah, Woody Harrelson. Dude,
I forgot Woody was in that.
Philip K. Dick's one of my favorites. Like, it's not even like everybody flips tits for fucking Blade Runner and obviously Do Androids Dream of Electric Sleep, but he's got so much other stuff that is way better and way more thought-provoking. If you're into that kind of stuff. And I always liked the way he wrote. Like there's a section of Scanner Darkly that'll make you feel like you're having a bad drug trip. Like writing like that is so like few and far between for me. I love reading and I still struggle to get through a lot of books. There's tons of books where I read like half the book and I'm like, fuck this book. But yeah, Philip K. Dick has always been awesome. There's a lot of movies of his too that are like pretty solid movies. Like Minority Report wasn't terrible.
I rewatched that recently, and it's still a good movie, but Colin Farrell is like the worst part of it for me. He keeps doing this thing where he kisses his cross or whatever he has like every 5 seconds.
Total Recall, right? That's him too.
Yep. Total Recall is great.
Yeah, I did the new Total Recall.
Oh, that's right. He was in that too.
I forgot he's in that too. Yeah. I mean the Arnold one kind of deviates from the book a shitload.
This is kind of a Colin Farrell stream. He's talking
Yeah,
about him
right.
in 3 different movies now.
Shout out to him in the fucking Batman, dude.
Yeah, I had no idea that was him.
Oh my god. I knew he was in it, but I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, I guess we're not going to get to see Penguin. I thought that was that fucking character actor. Fuck, I'm going to forget his name now.
No, I know who you're talking about. The guy from A Serious Man.
Yes.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
He's a character actor in a ton of shit, and he plays like tons of bit parts. He's like, he does some comedy stuff, and he plays a doctor a lot, like just as like a quick walk-on role in like TV shows and stuff in the past. And I saw him in the trailer. I was like, oh yeah, he must just be like one of the background cops in like a panning shot. And no, it was fucking Colin Farrell in a bunch of makeup. I was like, oh shit. And then Kevin was telling me the movie is like a bit of like an origin story for Penguin in it, and he's just referred to as Oz in the script from everything that leaked.
Yeah, he gets called the Penguin, but he hates it.
Yeah. And I just like, dude, I'm genuinely, there's a story I'm holding off on in the Ransomverse now because the trailer came out and it's like basically it's a serial killer in the Ransomverse, and it was going to be this little arc for one of the books. And I was like, fuck, I need to essentially see this movie now before I fucking release this story, because I immediately was like, this gives me vibes like exactly what I was going for, and some of the stuff I have written already is like weirdly similar to it. Not like spot on, but I was like, I can't just do like what's essentially like a watered down version of the next hot Batman movie. That almost happened with fucking Voidwalker, with the new Venom series. You could take the solicits for Donny Cates like first like 4 or 5 issues of Venom and read them, and it kind of sounds like you're describing Voidwalker. And then it came out, and the stories aren't similar at all. Like the new Venom, I think, is weird as fuck. But there was like a good like 4 or 5 months where I was like messaging Peter like, I don't know what to do. Like, lucked out on that.
I haven't read the new Venom, but isn't there some kind of whole thing with like basically getting into like an alien hierarchy and stuff?
Well, the thing that scared me was they started to use a lot of like Lovecraftian stuff in their promotional material. And they've essentially alluded to like the King in Yellow and stuff like that, but they're straight up just like aping shit. They didn't even try to do their own new thing now. Like I think they called it like the King in Black. But they sort of like took like the whole idea of like the King in Yellow and all this stuff. And the one like really on the fucking nose thing we did in Voidwalker that I just like insisted that I wanted was the fucking him dropping the peer into the mouth of madness in the first issue.
Mm-hmm.
And it fucking drives everybody nuts, and they like are blowing their brains out and freaking out and stuff, and you don't get to see it. That was like the one on the nose thing we did, but like everything else, we were like, it's gonna be inspired by not just straight up fucking 1-to-1 recreations, but the new Venom is essentially like there's like a god of all venoms, and it's not it like originally it was like an engineered thing, like from something they found in like a space rock, right?
Yeah, it was like J. Jonah Jameson's son went to space and came back with it.
Yeah, they found the weird sample of shit, and then they somehow sort of like reverse engineered the symbiote from that fucking space rock, right?
Hey, by the way, symbiote was always so weird to me when I watched the movie with Tom Hardy. I'm like, I thought it was symbiote. Everybody's pronouncing it symbiote.
Yeah,
it sounds weird to me. Like, you know, in the Avatar movie when they're calling him Ong instead of Aang.
Yeah.
It's like, this is not how I know it.
Fuck.
Or Thanos. Everybody says Thanos. I always thought it was Thanos.
I definitely say Thanos.
Yeah, I was like, you guys fucked it up.
I hate the world. Culture sucks.
You idiots.
Yeah. Oh, geez, I just completely lost my train of thought.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Train of thought derailed.
Yeah, right. Oh, good. It was nothing important. Oh, yeah, the new Venom. It really was nothing important. I love that brought me back around to it. They basically introduced like there's this god to the Venoms. Null.
Yeah, and he has like a sword made out of symbiotes and stuff, right?
Yeah, and you find out they're like allergic to sound because it was the pinging of the sword being hammered in like the forge of existence.
And that's kind of weird too. 'Cause that's kind of like Berserk, because in Berserk there's a sword that the Death Knight, I think he's called. It's made out of these. Like I haven't read the comic, but I read like the Wikipedia stuff on it, and there's these things that people can get that can give them like ultimate power. They're like kind of like apples, but they have faces on them.
Yeah,
And he has a sword entirely made out of that thing.
rad.
So it's almost kind of like that.
Yeah, I mean, not surprising that it's like something else, but I read the first couple issues just to be safe and was like, whew, like this is nothing like what the solicits said it was. Thank God. Like, and then Voidwalker came out and we were in the clear. But yeah, just as like a fan of Venom, I was like, oh well, that's a bummer. And I like some of Donny Cates' stuff, but I've gotten in so many Twitter arguments with that dude now, and I'm pretty sure I'm blocked by him. I made that offhand snarky comment where I wasn't even really trying to be snarky or anything a while back. I think it was the first time he blocked me when I watched that Jim Starlin video and he called him Danny Gates. And I just about pissed my pants. And it was at the time where Starlin was pissed that he basically got a book canned because Donnie was writing Thanos Wins or whatever the fuck it was called.
Oh, is that where he fights Silver Surfer and kills him?
Yeah, it was like an alternate ending where like Thanos like completes
Mm-hmm. It was cool.
wins the Infinity War. Well, evidently Starlin had like the same idea and they just gave it to Donnie instead. At least that's what Starlin claimed. And like there's a video on I think Sci-Fi's YouTube where they did an interview with him and he basically says that and then he calls him Danny Gates and I fucking lost it laughing. And then people were like giving Donnie shit about it on Twitter. And he was like, actually, me and Jim are really good friends. And I was like, yeah, that's why I called you Danny Gates a week ago in an interview with Sci-Fi.
That's like Tom King, where he's like, "Oh yeah, everything's good now, guys," and Jay's like, "No, it's not."
Yeah. Jay's like, I'm going to backhand you the next time I see you, Tom King. Like, that's how I felt when I read that. I was like, this is a man who is going to fucking let it be known. Like,
yeah. Well, the fact that he said anything shows that he's super pissed off and that there is no like coming back from it.
yeah,
You know, most times when this kind of stuff happens, they just don't, broach the subject at all. So the very fact that he even brought it up shows that he's pissed off.
it was amazing. I love that we were like, we're doing a drawing stream. Rich got on. We both killed our camera.
Wait a minute, I'm the only one drawing. What the hell?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I
Sorry.
can't concentrate. My nose is just pouring like a fountain.
Jeff is
And
leaking.
Yeah, it's broken.
It's like we could jump over to Pete's stream, but he'd probably hate it because Jeff is falling apart. Oh, here's a fun, really gross one that I got ready for Pete's stream earlier that looks like it's just got a dong hanging out of it.
That's the trend.
Dong zombie. Zombie ass.
Zombie ass.
That stream last night was too much, man. I woke up this morning still feeling like I was gonna throw up because my stomach just hurt so much.
Did you like the Venom movie?
To an extent, I guess. It was weird.
Yeah, it was better than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I went into it expecting it to be like horrible.
The only one thing though, like I like Tom Hardy in it, but it made me kind of sad because like I would love to see him as Wolverine or the Punisher or some other kind of character.
I was curious for a while when everybody was like on the Zac Efron train for Wolverine,
Ugh.
especially now that he's like chunkier. I think he could pull it off now more so than ever. My biggest issue with that dude is I think he's like too much of like a pretty boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I feel like Wolverine should have like horrible skin from smoking. But then again, he also heals forever, so I guess that wouldn't be a thing either.
Yeah, I think Wolverine should just look rugged. Like, there's no way he can pick up Jean Grey and be a troll. So he has to be kind of good looking. But at the same time, he shouldn't be a pretty boy. Like, I don't have any problem with Zac Efron. Like, I don't care, you know. But
Yo, except
I don't think he's right.
Her brain's just like straight mashed potatoes.
Yeah, I get like Mel Gibson.
I like you now. You're ugly.
Oh man, I was going to show off the Ryan Wynn picture too.
Get Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Wolverine won't stop yelling about the Jews.
There we go.
Oh shit!
Oh, that's cool.
I was like, is he still in here?
Yeah, I thought he was. I already sent this to him, so he's seen this.
He might have hopped over to Pete's stream now. Do I even have lead in here? That looks like a big no.
You are leadless?
What is this, 0.3? What do we got? That's huge. It's huge.
Huge.
You can see it from space.
There are two people now watching. I'm going to give it a like. It's a pity like, but I'm going to give it a like anyway.
I appreciate the pity like. We're not too big for a pity like around here. We'll take them all.
Yeah, everybody's over on Pete's. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. I see you now. Thank you.
I was going to say, I hit him up to see if he wanted us to join on the stream, but if he commented on it, I did not hear it at this point because I put my headphones back on. He's like, I wonder where they all are.
Where are they all?
It's like, here, I'll mute me real quick so I can turn the volume up on this and see what's going on.
My hair is doing a thing. Cool.
Institute's got some centipedes.
Say what? Who?
Institute has a centipede in his house.
We're in the house. Burn it. Burn it like it's a witch. So here's a weird thought. So, you know how every artist has their own style, yet I don't see myself having a style. Everything kind of looks disjointed and weird and all over the place. So I'm kind of wondering, Are you immune to seeing your own style, yet everyone else can see it plain as day?
Style of no style.
Yeah.
Are you Bruce Lee?
I was in a previous life. Well, no, we were both alive at the same time. But that's another thought I have about the universe. Reincarnation is real, okay?
Okay.
But we are not reincarnated in a linear fashion, meaning I die tomorrow. My soul is reincarnated, but I am reincarnated into a baby that was born yesterday.
That's how Tenet ends. Just kidding.
Well, damn. I should be in Hollywood.
Ryan's like, no. He said he wouldn't spoil it.
I just heard back from Pete finally. He's only going to go for another half hour, but he said to jump on over.
That means I'm out.
Oh, no, I said I could send you the link, so give me just a minute, and I'll send you both of you guys the link.
Oh, boy. I can show off my stuff, and everybody can laugh at me.
I'm going to kill this one. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Thanks for watching.
Whoop, whoop.
And we'll be back.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.